It's been We'll make it burn bombs, big black bombs, why to go plastic? How long will you last if you should trip the life and die? I'm not such an innocent kind of guy, 'cause it all comes down to do or die. So don't pretend that heaven 16 or 23. Don't you blow your smoke on me? This night we'll get you high, get your soul back, keep it on the outside, take it on your stride, 'cause you can't forget, can't run, get high. This bit will get you sick, just a big book waiting in the windows. Every good friend knows the ones there open, they won't get close. And I'm not such an innocent kind of guy, 'cause it all comes down to do or die.
Oh, whoops, shit, hold on. 1 second. There we go. Hi, everyone. Good evening for me, and maybe evening for you, or some other time. How are we all doing tonight, or not tonight, evening, night, whatever. Today. Woo! Oh my God, Edlis, thank you so much for subscribing. Whee! This always happens. I love Bowman so much that I get lost in the music. And hi everyone, hi Corvus, hi Atlas. 2 months down, over a million to go. You want to be subscribed for a million months? How many years is that? 12 months in? I don't know. A lot? Not? Hold on. I don't know. Exhaustion is another part of the experience of book stream. Are you exhausted? Well, hopefully this stream is gonna be chill. It's just gonna be me reading a book to you. Maybe that'll be a nice way to calm down, right? The song's gonna be over in 26 seconds. Don't worry about it. And then we'll get to the book stream. So you all, oh God, oh dear. You all made this stream happen by donating your punchies to the donation goal. So if it's not good, then you only have yourself to blame. But I'm sure it's going to be really fun, because I love this book. This is one of my favorite stories of all time. Alice in Wonderland, written by Lewis Carroll, not his real name. That was a pseudonym, but I forgot his real name. Oh, no, wait, you're right. Sorry, not Alice in Wonderland. Doom 2. I'm going to read to you the story of Doom 2. You can donate punchies when we have a donation goal set up. After this stream, I want to set up a new reading stream goal. Once we figured out a story to read, the obvious answer would be Through the Looking Glass, of course. But I would also be open to other things, like... well, I don't know any other things. That's why we don't have one right now. But if you have any suggestions, we have a Discord channel for that, of course. Lewis Carroll, his real name. Sue is Daryl. That was it. Yeah, I forgot, but that's it. You're right. Thanks. Are you gonna finish the whole book? I don't know. Maybe we'll get through the whole book this stream. Maybe I won't, and we'll do another one. We'll find out. The communist benefit. It would be appropriate. I'll think about it. I don't. Would I get in trouble for reading something like that live on Twitch? I wonder. Atlas Shrugged. Atlas Shrugged's not bad, because like my first stream since I started streaming again was Bioshock. So that would be kind of appropriate if you think about it. Conquest of Bread. I don't even know what that is. Is that about pigeons? Pigeons trying to get bread? Or no, ducks. Ducks get bread. Pigeons get fries. No, that's seagulls. What do pigeons? Pigeons will get anything, I guess. It's basically the anarchist manifesto. Now that's very interesting. I might have to look into that then. Huh? That's a good one. So only Rowie reads The Art of the Deal by Donald Trump. Yeah, but I'm gonna do it in a dumb, jokey voice the whole time, you know, to make fun of him. I'm gonna leave this on lurk so that I can make myself a sausage. All right, good luck with your sausage. We will take ourselves to the book nook now. Come, I open the door for you. Yay! And I'll lead you into my book nook. Here we are, the book nook. Yay! No, this door is as real as I am. Which is that it's kind of pretend, or is it? Ooh. We are also going to put on a song, of course. Such book nook. Yeah. Okay. So some of you might have heard that I oh, hello. What's going on? Okay. That I stood in Minecraft unmoving for 40 minutes at some point, and I said that it was productive. That was for this. This is a video that lasts over 40 minutes, in fact, of me just standing here and not doing anything. It's for the stream. Let's get some music on. We'll start with Animal Crossing, but if anyone has like any music that's not gonna get copyright strike that's also very fitting for Alice in Wonderland, do let me know, and I will consider it. Alice in Wonderland. No, wait, hold on. Animal Crossing, GameCube, Hosty. Why does my space? Uh-oh. My spacebar doesn't work. That's odd. Oh, it just doesn't work on YouTube. Okay. Weird. Does the book nook contain a kitchen? Nope. It contains merely a table, a chair over here, and the books, and a light, and a door over that way, and a window, and your imagination. Where else can we put the cooks? What cooks? We need cooks? Do we need cooks? I don't know if we need any cooks around here. Where do we cook the books? Don't cook the books, read the books. Obtain knowledge. Put knowledge in your brain and use it to expand your horizons and make the world a better place. You know? Cooks in the book. I get it. But I'm trying to food for thought. I'm trying to think of another joke with book, but I can't think of anything right now. Cooking the book makes it easier to digest. Reader's Digest. I get it. Good. But what if wait, but what else are we supposed to do with cooking books? No, sorry. The cooking books are not you don't cook the cookbooks. The cookbooks cook. They're magic. I don't know where I'm going with this. No metaphors. We're eating paper. Where's the manga section? Most of it is manga, if I'm being honest with you. Anyway, let's start. Let's begin reading, shall we? Here we go. I'm opening the book. Hold on. Can you hear it? I'm opening it. This is like the first few pages. It's just hard. No story, no words yet. Okay. Okay, here we go. I will now. Wrong hand. There we go. I will now begin reading to you Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Here we go. Didn't make a book model. No. I could have. But see, the hand that has the book isn't detected properly. Anyway, do you see this? Do you see this shit? This is the hand that's not holding anything. And then here it is. I'm holding a book. Can you tell? No. And it looks kind of weird. Don't worry about it. Okay, this is our book stream. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. No. The hands are detected by a device that is specifically made for hand detection. This is as good as it's gonna get for the hands, unless I buy like a several $1,000 mocap suit. Which, no. Okay, here we go. Oh. Oh, there's a poem. There's a poem before. Do I read the poem? Do I read a poem? It's about Alice. I'll read it. All in the golden afternoon. Oh no, wait, okay. So, hold on. That's also the name of the poem and also the first line. All in the golden afternoon, full leisurely we glide. For both our oars, with little skill, by little arms are plied. While little hands make vain pretense our wanderings to guide. Ah, cruel three, in such an hour, beneath such dreamy weather, to bag a tale of breath too weak to stir the tiniest feather. Yet what can one poor voice avail against three tongues together? Imperious Prima flashes forth her edict to begin it. What the fuck does any of this mean? I'm not good at this. In gentler tone, Secunda hopes there will be nonsense in it, while Tertia interrupts the tale, no more than once a minute. Anon to sudden silence won, in fancy they pursue, the dream child moving through a land of wonders wild and new, in friendly chat with bird or beast, and half belief it's true. And ever as the story drained, the wells of fancy dry, and faintly strove that weary one. I just noticed that looking down makes the model look real weird. Oh, is the music loud? Okay. Is that better? I assume this is better. I guess my model's just gonna be looking up or like do this. There's nothing I can do about that. Sorry. I can hold the book like up here, maybe. That looks really weird. Where was I? And ever as the story drained, the wells of fancy dry, and faintly strove that weary one to put the subject by. The rest next time, it is next time, the happy voices cry. Thus grew the tale of Wonderland, thus slowly, one by one, its quaint events were hammered out, and now the tale is done. And home we steer, a merry crew, beneath the setting sun. Alice, a childish story take, and with a gentle hand, lay it where childhood dreams are intertwined in memory's mystic band, like pilgrims' withered wreath of flower plucked in a far-off land. I think that was a story about the creation of the original Alice in Wonderland, because I think Lewis wrote it like for his kids, right? And also because he was sick of like the kind of criticism that he was getting for his other stories. So I think that's the idea. Like the three tongues are like the kids, right? I think. Did I T-pose? Did I T-pose? How did I T-pose? Oh. Anyway, that's a nice little poem. But now we get on to the real story. The real story. No, I'm suggesting you T-pose to not look weird. I also can't T-pose good. That's not a thing that I can do. Because, like, the hand detection doesn't go far enough for that. Again, give me thousands of dollars so I can buy a mocap suit. Bring the action. Here we go. Chapter 1. Down the Rabbit Hole. Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank and of having nothing to do. Once or twice, she had peeped into the book her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it. And what is the use of a book, thought Alice, without pictures or conversations? So she was considering in her own mind, as well as she could, for the hot day made her feel very sleepy and stupid, whether the pleasure of making a daisy chain would be worth the trouble of getting up and picking the daisies, when suddenly a white rabbit with pink eyes ran close by her. Did you hear the page? I flipped the page. There was nothing so very remarkable in that, nor did Alice think it was so very much out of the way to hear the rabbit say to itself, oh dear, I shall be too late." When she thought it over afterwards, it occurred to her that she ought to have wondered at this, but at the time it all seemed quite natural. But when the rabbit actually took a watch out of its waistcoat pocket and looked at it, and then hurried on, Alice started to her feet, for it flashed across her mind that she had never before seen a rabbit with either a waistcoat pocket or a watch to take out of it. And, burning with curiosity, she ran across the field after it, and was just in time to see it pop down a large rabbit hole under the hedge. Single page of build-up, and we are right into it. Yeah, man, Alice in Wonderland doesn't fuck around. This shit gets right into it. Fuck yeah. Also, even more so, I'm reading a later edition that has like big letters and stuff, because I thought it would be easier to like keep track of when I'm also constantly looking at you guys. So normal Alice gets into the action even faster. That's how good this book is. It doesn't waste your time with world building or whatever. It just goes, here's fuck, go, you know? It's great. I love it. Okay. In another moment down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again. The rabbit hole went straight on like a tunnel for some way, and then dipped down, suddenly. So suddenly that Alice had not a moment to think about stopping herself before she found herself falling down what seemed to be a very deep well. Either the well was very deep, or she fell very slowly, for she had plenty of time as she went down to look about her, and to wonder what was going to happen next. First, she tried to look down and make out what she was coming to, but it was too dark to see anything, and she looked at the sides of the well and noticed that they were filled with cupboards and bookshelves. Here and there she saw maps and pictures hung upon pegs. She took down a jar from one of the shelves as she passed. It was labeled orange marmalade, but to her great disappointment, it was empty. She did not like to drop the jar for fear of killing somebody underneath, so managed to put it into one of the cupboards as she fell past it. You know what a girl looks like? Fuck you, let's get to the weird shit. Exactly. And here's a beautiful picture that I'll show you now. That's me showing it to you. Well, thought Alice to herself, after such a fall as this, I shall think nothing of tumbling downstairs. How brave thou all think me at home. Why, I wouldn't say anything about it, even if I fell off the top of the house. Which was very likely true. Alice is very thoughtful, she is. Well, we're gonna see. Alice is a complicated character, but that's why I love her. She's like a rich, she comes from like she's from a very well-off family, so she has manners, but she also has harsh opinions. And that makes her a fun character. And down, down, down. Would the fall never come to an end? I wonder how many miles I've fallen by this time, she said aloud. I must be getting somewhere near the center of the earth. Let me see. That would be 4,000 miles down, I think. For you see, Alice had learned several things of this sort in her lessons in the schoolroom, and thought this was not a very good opportunity for showing off her knowledge, as there was no one to listen to her. Still, it was good practice to say it over. Yes, that's about the right distance, but then I wonder what latitude or longitude I've got to. Alice had not the slightest idea what latitude was, or longitude either, but she thought they were nice grand words to say. Presently, she began again. I wonder if I shall fall right through the earth. How funny it'll be to come out among the people that walk with their heads upwards. The antipathies, I think. She was rather glad there was no one listening this time, as it didn't sound at all like the right word. But I shall have to ask them what the name of this country is. Please, ma'am, is this New Zealand or Australia? And she tried to curtsy as she spoke. Fancy curtsying as you're falling through the air. Do you think you could manage it? Do you, chat? I think... I don't think I would pull it off, but I think you would not. You would look at it and you would realize what it is that I'm trying to do, even if I'm failing at it. This girl has brain problems. Listen, there are plenty of adaptations of the story where Alice has brain problems. You can go watch or play or read those. Also, give me just a second. I'm gonna do something a little bit. Okay, that's a little better. You have to at least have a B+ in curtsying to curtsy. Yeah, it's a skill you don't unlock until later. She's not even panicking. Well, I mean, spoilers, but it's a dream, so... Or is it? It's kind of up to interpretation, actually. But it might be a dream. And you know how you are in dreams, you know. Anyway. And what an ignorant little girl she'll think me for asking. No, it'll never do to ask. Perhaps I shall see it written up somewhere. Down, down, down. There was nothing else to do, so Alice soon began talking again. Dinah'll listen very much tonight, I should think. Dinah was the cat. It just says that. Dinah was the cat. I hope they'll remember her saucer of milk at tea time. Dinah, my dear, I wish you were down here with me. There are no mice in the air, I'm afraid, but you might catch a bat, and that's very much like a mouse, you know? But do cats eat bats, I wonder? And here Alice began to get rather sleepy and went on saying to herself, in a dreamy sort of way, do cats eat bats? Do cats eat bats? And sometimes, do bats eat cats? For, you see, as she couldn't answer either question, it didn't much matter which way she put it. She felt that she was dozing off, and had just begun to dream that she was walking hand in hand with Dinah, and was saying to her very, very earnestly, now, Dinah, tell me that truth. Did you ever eat a bat? When suddenly, thump, thump, down she came upon a heap of sticks and dry leaves, and the fall was over. Doo-doo-doo. Hi, Brody. Hi, everyone. Sorry, Animal Crossing music. Hi. She's been falling down this hole for longer than she was on the surface. Yeah, like, well, that's what's fun about it. Alice was not a bit hurt, and she jumped up onto her feet in a moment. She looked up, but it was dark overhead. Before her was another long passage, and the white rabbit was still in sight, hurrying down it. There was not a moment to lose. Away went Alice like the wind, and was just in time to hear it say, as it turned a corner, "Oh, my ears and whiskers! How late it's getting!" Is that the same voice I did earlier? I have no idea. She was getting close behind it when she turned the corner, but the rabbit was no longer to be seen. She found herself in a long, low hall, which was lit up by a row of lamps hanging from the roof. There were doors all around the hall, but they were all locked, and when Alice had been all the way down one side and up the other, trying every door, she walked sadly down the middle, wondering how she was ever going to get out again. Suddenly, she came upon a little three-legged table, all made of solid glass. There was nothing on it but a tiny golden key, and Alice's first idea was that this might belong to one of the doors in the hall. But alas, either the locks were too large or the key was too small. Yeah, both. But at any rate, it would not open any of them. However, on the second time around, she came upon a low curtain that she had not noticed before, and behind it was a little door, about 15 inches high. How much is 15 inches in centimeters? I don't know. Small. It's small. Important question. Do you sit cross-legged? Yeah, I do, actually. I am sitting cross-legged. It's like a Wonderland. It's like some kind of Wonderland here. It's like the fucking Seinfeld meme. Also, hi. Hi, meme. About 1/3 of a meter. Okay, that's taller than I thought it would be. She tried the little golden key in the lock, and to her great delight, it fitted. Paper ASMR. Here we go. Alice opened the door and found that it led into a small passage, not much larger than a red hole. She knelt down and looked along the passage into the lowest garden you ever... No, wait. Loveliest garden you ever saw. Not she, you. You think you've been to some nice gardens? Fuck you. You ain't seen nothing like these gardens. Oh my goodness. Wow. 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 It's like they got flowers that are like flowers that you know, but better. And there's tropical birds, maybe. If you've been to a garden with tropical birds, and there's more tropical birds. That's how it works. Anyway, you ever saw. How she longed to get out of that dark hall and wander among those beds of bright flowers and those cool fountains. There's even fountains. Yeah, Flowers Plus. It's new Flowers Plus. But she could not even get her head through the doorway. And even my head would go through. And even if my head would go through, thought poor Alice, it would be of very little use without my shoulders. Oh, how I wish I could shut up like a telescope. I think I could if only I knew how to begin. For, you see, so many out-of-the-way things had happened lately that Alice had begun to think that very few things indeed were really impossible. So the garden is better than your underwater flower, cat, smoothie, pool, cafe? Yes, it is. I will admit, my underwater flower, cat, smoothie, pool, cafe is not perfect. It is not as good as the garden that Alice finds in Alice in Wonderland. But it is nice, it's just not as good. Which I'm willing to admit that. It's better than every other garden, but not as good. This is your choose your own adventure, right? It's not. Oh my god, that'd be so fun if we did a choose your own adventure one time. That would be so fucking neat. What did I just say? I think I was gonna say fucking funny, but then I tried not to swear, so I said fucking -y. I don't know. Anyway, that would be so fucking goddamn hilarious. Anyway. Kill Jester. Where was I? Turn to page 48. Mm-hmm. 48. Oh, that's just a picture. 48 is only a picture, and it's way later in the story. It's when she's in the White Rabbit's house. We won! Yay! Okay. There seemed to be no use in waiting by the little door. So she went to the back table, half hoping she might find another key on it, or at any rate a book of rules for shutting people up like a telescope. This time she found a little bottle on it, which certainly was not here before, said Alice. And tied around the neck of the bottle was a paper label with the words, "Drink me," beautifully printed in large letters. I don't know. There's a picture, I don't know if I would call it beautifully printed, it's just sort of like standard font. Anyway, it was all very well to say, "Drink me," but the wise little Alice was not going to do that in a hurry. "No, I'll look first," she said, "and see whether it's marked poison or not." I will, oh, hydrate, I get it, because drink me. Oh, I did not bring a bookmarker. This is a piece of paper with instructions for my laser hair removal surgery. I'll use that. Time to sippy. Yes, she is, Blueberry. She's certainly smarter than any of mine. If it poison, it would say poison. It would be illegal for it not to. Yeah. Just like how, you know, people don't murder because that's illegal. "No, I'll look first," she said, "and see whether it's marked poison or not." For she had read several nice little stories about children who had got burned or eaten up by wild beasts and other unpleasant things, all because they would not remember the simple rules their friends had taught them, such as that a red-hot poker would burn you if you hold it for too long, and that if you cut your finger very deeply with a knife, it usually bleeds. And she had never forgotten that. If you drink much from a bottle marked potion, it is almost certain to disagree with you sooner or later. However, this bottle was not marked poison. So Alice ventured to taste it. And isn't it funny how poison and potion are like basically like opposites often, but they're so similar? Really makes you think, you know? It's like a metaphor for the dichotomy of humankind, if you really think about it, you know? Is this part of the book? No, I want credit. That's me. Poison is hurt potion. Probably a similar root word. That's true. That's probably it, yeah. That's smart. I say it's true. But that sounds true. That sounds very likely. Sounds like you're right. is what I'm saying. However, this bottle was... Shut up. That was my phone. However, this bottle was not marked poison, so Alice ventured to taste it, and finding it very nice, it had, in fact, a sort of mixed flavor of cherry tart, custard, pineapple, roast turkey, toffee, and hot buttered toast. She very soon finished it. How common was pineapple in those days, I wonder? I mean, like, she was from, like, a rich family, so, like, she would know. But, like, how pineapple? How often would you get pineapple in those days? Also, hi Ellie. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, I feel like it would be hard to get pineapple in those days. People used to rent pineapples. They were... You serious? People would rent them? Pineapple disagrees with me, which is sad because I love the taste. Oh, that sucks. Hold on. That sucks. Oh, whoops. Oh, whoops. I just made the music go somewhere else. But that's fine. See, now we've got night music to go with the night that's going on outside. So it's all good. Okay, where was I? Yeah, want to see an article about it? They used to rent them and display them instead of wealth at parties. Oh my god. Oh, please send that in the Discord chat, because I would love to read that after this. Alice is a bourgeoisie menace. She is, and we're gonna find out, like, how shitty she can be. Why? What a curious feeling, said Alice. I must be shutting up like a telescope. And so it was indeed. She was now only 10 inches high, and her face brightened up at the thought that she was now the right size for going through the little door into that lovely garden. First, however, she waited for a few minutes to see if she was going to shrink any further. She felt a little nervous about this. For it might end, you know, said Alice to herself, in my going out altogether, like a candle. I wonder what I should be like then. And she tried to fancy what the flame of a candle looks like after the candle is blown out, for she could not remember ever having seen such a thing. Here in Hollywood was my pineapple. With my 7 pineapples. Pineapples were rare up until the 1900s, and this is like an 1800s book, I think, so... I mean, I'm pretty sure. Interesting that it would say pineapple then. Don't you think? I think it is. Because, like, Lewis was from that time. But, like, he still read it. He wrote it. He wrote that shit in this here book. ASMR. It was like, this'll throw them off. I mean, that was probably it, right? Okay. But that's what I love about him, because this whole book is about throwing you off. Where was I? See, this is why I got, like, the book with the large print. Okay, after a while, finding that nothing more happened, she decided on going into the garden at once, but alas, poor Alice. When she got to the door, she found she had forgotten the little golden key. And when she went back to the table for it, she found she could not possibly reach it. She could see it quite plainly through the glass, and she tried her best to climb up one of the legs of the table, but it was too slippery. And when she had tired herself out with trying, the poor little thing sat down and cried. She cried. Come on, there's no use in crying like that, said Alice to herself rather sharply. I advise you to leave off this minute. She generally gave herself very good advice, though she very seldom followed it, and sometimes she scolded herself for so severely as to bring tears into her eyes, and once she remembered trying to box her own ears for having cheated herself in a game of croquet she was playing against herself, for this curious child was very fond of pretending to be 2 people. She's just a fun child. Oh, you died in TF2? Oh. Sorry about that. But it's no use now, thought poor Alice, to pretend to be 2 people. Why, there's hardly enough of me left to make 1 respectable person. Soon her eye fell on a little glass box that was lying under the table. She opened it and found in it a very small cake, on which the words, "Eat me," were beautifully marked in currents. Again, it's not, the writing isn't like that fancy. I don't know what they're talking about, but okay. Being two people would be useful. Yeah, that's why it's a common superpower, kind of. Or well, you know, cloning. Not that common, could be more common. There's a lot you can do with it, but there's also, it quickly, like, gets out of your control, you know? It gets too powerful and, like, too much of a plot hole. Like, why wouldn't they just make two of them? You know, you get it. Anyway. Okay, yes. Just like a Mario 3D World. Exactly. That's why they didn't use it in every level. It's only limited to specific ones. Just like Yoshi in a lot of games now. Well, I'll eat it, said Alice. And if it makes me grow larger, I can reach the key. And if it makes me grow smaller, I can creep under the door. So either way, I'll get into the garden and I don't care which happens. She ate a little bit and said anxiously to herself, which way, holding her hand on the top of her head to feel which way it was growing, which makes no sense because the hand would also grow, but you know, whatever. And she was quite surprised to find that she remained the same size. To be sure, this is what generally happens when one eats cake, but Alice had gotten so much into the way of expecting nothing but out of the way things to happen that it seemed quite dull and stupid for life to go on in the common way. So she set to work and very soon finished off the cake. Yes, she's very smart but also very stupid. It's fun. She's like book smart, you know, like she knows a lot of things, but she's not that good at applying it, I feel. Okay, chapter 2. Okay, I can do 5 of these. We're gonna do this until chapter 5 and then I have to stop. So chapter 2 is the Pool of Tears, which definitely sounds like some sort of Bloodborne area or something. Curiouser and curiouser, cried Alice. She was so much surprised that for a moment she forgot how to speak good English. The dichotomy of Alice. I can do it with 2 hands until 10, I guess. Castlevania games of that. Oh, that too. It's almost like she's a sheltered rich kid who's been educated and knows what a pineapple tastes like. I know. I fucking love like actual Alice. I feel like she's like misrepresented in a lot of media, but actual Alice is so fun. Anyway, curiouser and curiouser, cried Alice. She was so much surprised that for a moment she quite forgot how to speak good English. Now I'm opening like the largest telescope that ever was. Goodbye, feet. I love her thought process in this bit. For when she looked down at her feet, they seemed to be almost out of sight. They were getting so far away. Oh, my poor little feet, I wonder who will put on your shoes and stockings for you now, dears. I'm sure I shan't be able. I shall be a great deal far off to trouble myself about you. You must manage the best way you can. But I must be kind to them, thought Alice, or perhaps they won't walk the way I want to go. Let me see. I'll get them a new pair of boots every Christmas. Massive mood, I get it. And she went on planning to herself how she would manage it. They must go by the carrier, she thought, and how funny it'll seem, sending presents to one's own feet. And how odd the directions will look. Alice's right foot, Esquire. Hearth rug near the fender with Alice's love. Oh dear, what nonsense I'm talking. Just look at the moment at this moment her head struck against the roof of the hall. In fact, she was now rather more than 9 feet high. I don't know how much that is. I'm 5'9". So tall. 3 meters, that's big. Just at this moment, oh yeah, high, not tall. You're right. Does that matter? These animals ain't shit. That's good. 20 cheeseburgers. Oh, that's a very good comparison. I know exactly, because all cheeseburgers are identical in height. Like 4-ish. 4-ish meters? 4 meters? That's bigger than 3. Anyway, Just at this moment, her head struck against the roof of the hall. In fact, she was now rather more than 9 feet high, and she at once took up the golden little key and hurried off to the golden door. Garden door, not golden. Poor Alice. It was as much as she could do, lying down on one side, to look through into the garden with one eye, but to get through was more hopeless than ever. She sat down and began to cry again. She does a lot of that. Although mostly in the beginning of the story. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, said Alice. A great girl like you, she might well say this, to go on crying in this way. Stop this moment, I tell you. But she went on all the same, shedding gallons of tears, until there was a large pool all around her, about 4 inches deep and reaching half down the hall. After a time, she heard a little pattering of feet in the distance, and she hastily dried her eyes to see what was coming. It was the White Rabbit running, splendidly dressed, with a pair of white kid gloves in one hand and a large fan in the other. Ghibli tears! Oh my god! Huh. Oh, I think Studio Ghibli actually at one point did want to make an adaptation of Alice in Wonderland. They never did, but I think they had plans to do it. So that would have been a really good scene. There's a creep. Oh my god, there's a creep. There's a creeper outside. Oh no. Is there? I don't see it. Is there? Is there? Is there? Is this actually the game or is this a GIF? No, it's a video. It's a video. It's not live. Because I didn't want to risk, you know, actual stuff happening. So it's just it's a video that's on loop. Is it on loop? Oh god, I hope the video loops. Oh well, we'll find out, I guess. It was right. He came trotting along in a great hurry, muttering to himself as he came. Oh, the Duchess, the Duchess! Oh, won't she be savage if I keep her waiting? Alice felt so desperate that she was ready to ask help of anyone. So, when the rabbit came near her, she began in a low, timid voice. If you please, sir. The rabbit started violently, dropped the white kid gloves and the fan, and scurried away into the darkness as hard as he could go. Yeah, the Duchess. The Duchess is simultaneously the worst and best character, and I'll explain to you why when we get to her. I think it's a fun story. Hi, Clefco. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, at some point the book Nook just like vanishes from existence. Where was I? Yes, it's scored. The rabbit's gone. Just got back from lunch. Lunch is good, important meal. Alice took up the fan and gloves, and as the hall was very hot, she kept fanning herself all the time she went on talking. Dear, dear, how queer everything is today. And yesterday things went on just as usual. ASMR. I wonder if I've been changed in the night. Let me think. Was I the same when I woke up this morning? I almost think I can remember feeling a little different. But if I'm not the same, the next question is, who in the world am I? And that's the great puzzle. And she began thinking over all the children she knew that were of the same age as herself to see if she could have been changed for any of them. This is a weird thought process. I was making a rude joke about my lovely... Oh, the Dutch. I get it. No, I thought you were knowledgeable about the characters in the story and you were just referring to the actual character, the Duchess. Things are queer every day here, that's fucking right. We're always in Wonderland here. Lewis has never met a small child. Lewis wrote this story for kids, I think. So, I'm not so sure about that. I think he just thought it'd be funny to write her like this. Or hey, maybe this is what kids were like in those days. We don't know. I don't know, at least. I've wondered... Okay, I'm sure I'm not Ada, she said, for her hair goes in such long ringlets, and mine doesn't go in ringlets at all. And I'm sure it can be Mabel, for I know all sorts of things, and she knows such a very little. What a fun way of phrasing that sentence. She knows such a very little. She's she, and I'm I. And, oh dear, how puzzling it all is. I'll try if I know all the things I used to know. Let me see. 4 times 5 is 12. Is that accurate? 4 times 12 is... Yes, it is. No. Wait, is it? 4 times 5 is 12. No. No, it's not. Is it? Is 4 times 12 12? Hold on. 4, 8. No, it's not. That makes no sense. Yeah, that's not 12 at all. I'm pretty sure Lewis was actually several assault children in a trench coat. Shh, 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 shh. That's what the government doesn't want you to know. 4 times 12 is 48. Is it 4 times? No, not 4 times 12. 4 times 8. 4 times 5. Right? Did I say it wrong? That I'm very bad at math. And 4 times 6 is 13. And that's also not true. It's definitely not true. Are you smarter than Alice in Wonderland? No. Maybe I'm at least as dumb as her. I don't think I'm smarter. I'm probably as dumb. And I have similar stockings. Or, well, mine are tights, but, you know, shh. And 4 times 5 is 12, and 4 times 6 is 13, and 4 times 7 is... Oh dear, I shall never get to 20 at this rate. However, the multiplication table doesn't signify. Let's try geography. London is the capital of Paris. Okay, no, she's just it's not supposed to getting anything right. Hi Melon, going from the madness of health angel formulas to a different oddness. Oh, angle. No, that's angel. Hold on, that's angel. Isn't that how angel is spelled? Did you say have angel? Yeah. Well, it looks like I'm smarter than Melon anyway, who does fucking calculus. Anyway, hi. sorry that there's more math here. Anyway, London is the capital of Paris, and Paris is the capital of Rome. And Rome, oh no, that's all wrong, I'm certain. I must have been chased to Mabel. I'll try and say, how doth the little... And she crossed her hands in her lap as if she were saying lessons, and began to repeat it, but her voice sounded hoarse and strange, and the words did not come out the same as they used to do. How do you sound hoarse? That's not good. How? I don't know. I'm just gonna do it normally. It'll be bad for my voice anyway. Nay! How doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail and pour the waters of the Nile on every golden scale? How cheerfully he seems to grin, how neatly spreads his claws, and welcome little fishies in with gentle smiling jaws. See, that's fun, right? Just make it more nasally like this. How doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail? That's bad. See, this is fun because I've read Alice in Wonderland a bunch of times, so I know this poem pretty well. Every time I see him, like, oh yeah, that's Alice in Wonderland. But it's a bastardization of an existing one that I don't know because I didn't grow up with English stuff. That's like a fun little bit, I think. You know? I'm sure those are not the right words, said poor Alice, and her eyes filled with tears again because she's such a fucking crybaby. As she went... And I did turn page. On. I must be Mabel after all. Now she'll have to go and live in a poky little house and have next to no toys to play with and oh, ever so many lessons to learn. No, I've made up my mind about it. If I'm Mabel, I'll stay down here. I'll stay down here. I'll be of no use there putting their heads down and saying, come up again, dear. I shall only look up and say, who am I then? Tell me that first, and then, if I like being that person, I'll come up. If not, I'll stay down here until I'm somebody else. But, oh dear, cried Alice, with a sudden burst of tears again. I do wish they would put their heads down. I'm so very tired of being all alone down here. What did Mabel do to this girl? I'm telling you, she's got harsh opinions. She's maybe a little discriminatory. Falling down an endless, infinitely deep shaft, Alice sleeps. Not having many toys, real Alice tears. She's just, you know, she's rich and she can't handle not being rich. Just like most rich people. She said the R slur and a D slur to Alice. Oh no. Then it's which one's R though? I know D. That's Dyke. What's R? Oh, wait. I think I know. I could say the D slur. I'm a lesbian. Do I know the R slur? Don't worry about it. Don't say it. It's fine. I don't need to know things. Just like Alice. As she said this. Yeah, no, yeah. Oh, I also have autism. That's what I thought. So yeah, I'm good then. As she said this, she looked down at her hands and was surprised to see that she had put on one of the rabbit's little white gloves while she was talking. How can I have done this? She thought. I must be growing small again. She got up and went to the table to measure herself by it and found that, as nearly as she could guess, she was now about 2 feet high and was going on shrinking rapidly. She soon found out that the cause of this was the fan she was holding, and she dropped it hastily, just in time to save herself from shrinking away altogether. Really though, like pretty much every VTuber I've met is like an autistic trans person. It's really funny. Now that was a narrow escape, said Alice, a good deal frightened at the sudden change, but very glad to find herself still in existence. And now for the garden. And she ran with all speed to the little door, but alas, the little door was shut again, and the little golden key was lying on the glass table as before, and things were worse than ever, thought the poor child, for I never was so small as this before, never, and I declare it too bad that it is. Oh yeah, no, some kind of neurodivergence and some kind of queer, definitely. The other choice is to do computer science. Why not both? And she ran with all speed to the little... No, read that already. As she said these words, her foot slipped, and in another moment, splash! She was up to her chin in salt water. Her first idea was that she had somehow fallen into the sea. And in that case, I can go back by railway, she said to herself. Alice had been to the seaside once in her life, and had come to the general conclusion that wherever you go to on the English coast, you find a number of bathing machines, whatever that is, in the sea, some children digging in the sand with wooden spades, then a row of lodging houses, and behind them a railway station. However, she soon made out that she was in the pool of tears which she had wept when she was 9 feet high. I wish I hadn't cried so much, said Alice, as she swam about trying to find her way out. I shall be punished for it now, I suppose, by being drowned in my own tears. That will be a gay thing, it says queer. To be sure. However, everything is gay queer. Today... Or beat a computer science like a video game boss. Exactly. And then get scrapped. And then have to, like, learn off, like, 20th century... Or no, like, early 20s, 20,000s... Early aughts internet to, like, become a person. And then become a VTuber later. Where was I? Reading. Just when she heard something, just then, she heard something splashing about in the pool a little way off, and she swam nearer to make out what it was. At first she thought it must be a walrus or hippopotamus, but then she remembered how small she was now, and she soon made out that it was only a mouse that had slipped in like herself. Would it be of any use now, thought Alice, to speak to this mouse? Everything is so out of the way down here that I should think it very likely that it can talk. At any rate, there's no harm in trying. So she began, Oh, mouse, do you know the way out of this pool? I am very tired of swimming about here, oh mouse. Alice thought this must be the right way of speaking to a mouse. She had never done such a thing before, but she remembered having seen in her brother's Latin grammar, a mouse, of a mouse, to a mouse, oh mouse. Oh, what? Okay. I don't speak Latin, so I don't know what that means. The mouse looked at her rather inquisitively. The mouse looked at her rather inquisitively. and seemed to to her to wink with one of its little eyes, but it said nothing. Perhaps it doesn't understand English, thought Alice. I dare say it's a French mouse come over with William the Conqueror, for, with all her knowledge of history, Alice had no very clear notion how long ago anything had happened. And so she began again. There's a French sentence. We would all know how bad we all know, well, some of us and you, some of us, you and me, might know how bad I am at French, but how much I love to do the accent. Oh, oui, est ma chatte? I don't. O-U space E-S-T space M-A space C-H-A-T-T-E question mark. William the Conqueror died in 10,087. Good to know. Alice didn't. She lived much later. Also is fictional. Or is she? She is. Or is she? Up to interpretation. That is how it is said, Queen. Yes! I'm good at French. Alice is such a fucking wonderful character. She's my daughter too. Which was the first sentence in her French lesson book. The mouse gave a sudden leap out of the water and seemed to quiver all over with fright. Oh, I beg your pardon, cried Alice hastily, afraid that she had hurt the poor animal's feelings. I quite forgot you didn't like cats. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. I'm gonna decipher the sentence. Okay, so chat means cat. I actually know that, but I just didn't recognize it. It ends in cat. The sentence ends in cat. I have no idea what the rest of it means. Something about cat. Have we is yes, unless it's not we, and just looks like it. What could this mean? Yes. Something about my cat? I don't know. Let's move on. But if someone could tell me what that sentence means, I would be delighted. Delighted. Hold on. Not like cats, cried the mouse in a shrill, passionate voice. Would you like cats if you were me? Well, perhaps not, said Alice in a soothing tone. Don't be angry about it. And yet I wish I could show you our cat Dinah. Dana. I think you'd take a fancy to cats if you could only see her. She's such a dear, quiet thing, Alice went on, half to herself, as she swam lazily about in the pool. And she sits purring so nicely by the fire, licking her paws and washing her face. And she is such a nice, soft thing to nurse. And she's such a capital one for catching mice. Oh, I beg your pardon, cried Alice again, for this time the mouse was bristling all over, and she felt certain it must be really offended. We won't talk about her anymore, if you'd rather not. If it's written out, then I might be able to translate. Well, I said the sentence earlier. It's OU, and then the U has a little one of these. It's like an apostrophe. Is it an apostrophe? I don't know. It's like an apostrophe on there. Space. EST space MA space CHATTE question mark. That's the sentence. Where was I? Oh my god. Puns maker with lasers. Hi. Shut up, phone. Hi, thank you so much for following. Hi. Where was I? What was I saying? How could you, puns maker? You throw me off. I'm kidding. Hungry, angry, common words ending in gree. There are 3 words in English language. What is the third word? Oh, you're doing a pun. Hungry, angry, common words ending in gree. There are 3 words in the English language. What is the third word? If you listened carefully, you know I already answered it. No, gray is spelled different. That doesn't count. Wait, did I get close? Did I get close? Hangry does, but maybe it's probably not like a recognized word. You said it. I said it within. Hungry, angry, common words ending ingry. Ingry? That's not a word. There are 3 words in the English language. What is the 3rd word? If you listened carefully, you'd know. I already answered it. Hungry, angry, common words ending in gry. There are 3 words in the English language. It's not true, by the way. What the? Hold on a second. There are 3 words in the English language. That sentence makes no sense, so I feel like it has to be that. Hungry, angry, common words ending in gry. There are 3 words in the. I'm very dumb. Is something you must know? Give me a small clue, sure. Common and language don't end in gry. Language? 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 Why would it be? Hungry, angry, common words ending in gry. There are 3 words in. Here are. I'm so dumb. I don't get it. Oh, there are 3 words in the English language. What does that have? What is the 3rd word? Language? Are you kidding me, dude? Oh my god. It's so confusing. The rest is there to confuse me. Yeah, what the hell? I'm sorry for being so stupid. Sorry it took so long. Also, hi Sasha. Hello. I've not tried cocaine and thank you for liking my avatar. I made it and it's me. It's an entertaining kind of stupid. Well, that's good then. That is the vibe that I thought I had. So that's good. Stop being confusing. I had to deal with pickup. Sorry, Malin. But then again, this is what you came here for me to be confused at things, because that's all I do basically, and hit things also. And right now, read Alice in Wonderland. Let's get back to that. Where was I? It's been like half an hour since I last read anything. Right, so she was like, "Oh man, my cat's fucking great. Oh, sorry." And then she said, "We won't talk about her anymore if you'd rather not." "We indeed!" cried the mouse, who was trembling down at the end of his tail. "As if I would talk on such a subject! Our family always hated cats! Nasty, low, vulgar things! Don't let me hear the name again!" "I won't indeed," said Alice, in a great hurry to change the subject of conversation. Are you fond of dogs?" The mouse did not answer, so Alice went on eagerly. "There is such a nice little dog on near our house I should like to show you. A little bright-eyed terrier, you know, with, oh, such long curly brown hair, and it'll fetch things when you throw them, and it'll sit up and beg for its dinner, and all sorts of things. I can't remember half of them, and it belongs to a farmer, you know, and he says it's so useful it's worth £100. He says it kills all the rats and..." "Oh dear," cried Alice in a sorrowful tone, "I'm afraid I've offended it again," for the mouse was swimming away from her as hard as it could, and making quite a commotion in the pool as it went. So she called softly after it, "Mouse dear, do come back again, and we won't talk about cats or dogs either, if you don't like them." When the mouse heard this, it turned and swam slowly back to her. Its face was quite pale with passion, Alice thought. And it said in a low, trembling voice, "Let us get..." Oh, I keep losing the voice that I have for this mouse. I'm the voice for the mouse. That'll do. Whatever. Let us get to the shore, and then I'll tell you my history, and you'll understand why it is I hate cats and dogs. Alice's next topic, mouse traps. After that, pesticide. It was high time to go, for the pool was getting quite crowded with the birds and animals that had fallen into it. There was a duck and a dodo, a lory and an eaglet, and several other curious creatures. Alice led the way, and the whole party swam to the shore. ASMR time. Chapter 3. Chapter 3. A curious race and a long tale. They were indeed a queer, looking party that assembled on the bank. So you can imagine them all wearing ill-matching clothes, because that is what gay people do. Unless you're me, in which case you just dress like a punk. A queer-looking party that assembled on the bank. The birds with draggled feathers, the animals with their fur clinging close to them, and all dripping wet, cross, and uncomfortable. The first question, of course, was how to get dry again. They had a consultation about this, and after a few minutes it seemed quite natural to Alice to find herself talking familiarly with them, as if she had known them all her life. Indeed, she had quite a long argument with the lory, who at last turned sulky and would only say, "I am older than you, and you must know better." And this Alice would not allow, without knowing how old it was, and as the lory positively could refuse to tell its age, there was no more to be said. At last the mouse, who seemed to be a person of some authority amongst them, called out, "Sit down, all of you, and listen to me. I'll soon make you dry enough." They all sat down at once, in a large ring with the mouse in the middle. Alice kept her eyes anxiously fixed on it, for she felt sure she would catch a bad cold if she did not get dry very soon. Uh-oh. "Ahem," said the mouse, with an important air. "Are you all ready? This is the driest thing I know. Silence all around, please." Must be a pun. Silence all around, if you please. William the Conqueror, whose cause was favored by the Pope, was soon submitted to by the English, who wanted leaders and had been of late much accustomed to usurpation and conquest. Edwin and Morcar, the Earls of Mercia and Northumbria... "Ugh," said the lory with a shiver. "I beg your pardon," said the mouse, frowning, but very politely. "Did you speak?" Not I. I'm just random voices every time. It's just random voice. What is a lory anyway? Is a lory type of bird? What's a lory? Oh, that's a very nice colorful bird. That's nice. This one has Halloween colors. A dusky lory, huh? So they don't have a deep voice. Alice guessed where the mouse is from. Well, yeah, that's what Alice thought, is that, oh, this mouse must have been brought here by William the Conqueror, you know? So, the mouse knows about William the Conqueror. She guessed it right. What would the lory sound like? "Oh," said the lory with a shiver, blah, blah, blah. Not I," said the lory hastily. "I thought you did," said the mouse, who has a different voice again. It's as well, they are just living and she controls them. I proceed. Edwin and Morcar, the Earls of Mercia and Northumbria, declared for him, and even Stigand, the patriotic Archbishop of Canterbury, found it advisable. "Found what?" said the duck. "Found it." Gotta get out of the voice. The mouse replied rather crossly, "Of course you know what it means." I know what it means well enough when I find a thing," said the duck. "It's generally a frog or a worm. The question is, what did the Archbishop find?" The mouse did notice this question, but hurriedly went on. I'm looking up again. I'm not supposed to be looking up. whatever. Where was I? God damn, I'm so dumb. I lose my train of thought like immediately. The mouse did notice this question, but hurriedly went on. Found it advisable to go with Edgar Atheling and meet William and offer him the crown. Ooh, like mine. William's conduct at first was moderate, but the insolence of his Normans. How are you getting on now, my dear? It continued, turning to Alice as it spoke. As wet as ever, said Alice in a melancholy tone. It doesn't seem to dry me at all.
In that case,
said the dodo solemnly, rising to its feet,
I move that the meeting adjourn for the immediate adoption of more energetic remedies.
An eagle. What does an eagle sound like? American.
Speak it!
What does an American sound like?
I'm an American. I'm from America. Speak English,
said the eaglet. Oh, it's an eaglet. Hold on. What is an eaglet? Is it how different is that? It's the same. It's the same thing. It's close enough.
I don't know the meaning of half of those words, and what's more, I don't believe you do either.
And the eaglet bent down its head to hide a smile. Some of the other birds tittered audibly. Why do I keep looking up? Very annoying.
What I was going to say,
said the dodo. Someone smacking my house with a pipe? What? That's weird. Good luck with that.
What I was going to say,
said the dodo in an offended tone,
was that the best thing to get us dry would be a caucus race.
Or caucus. I don't know if this is a real word, so I don't know what it means. What is a caucus race? Said Alice. Not that she wanted much to know, but the dodo had paused, as if it thought that somebody ought to speak, and no one else seemed inclined to say anything. Speak English is a very fitting first thing for this American eagle to say. Yeah, I think I did good on that, even though it's an eaglet and not an eagle. But it's just like a smaller eagle, I think. I don't know.
Why?
Said the dodo.
The best way to explain it is to do it.
And as you might like to try the thing yourself some winter day, I will tell you how the dodo managed it, says the book to us. America wasn't even 100 years old when this was written. They probably didn't even sound like Americans yet. First, it marked out a race course in a sort of circle. The
exact shape doesn't matter,
it said, and then all the party were placed along the course, here and there. There was no 1, 2, 3 and away, but they began running when they liked and left off when they liked, so that it was not easy to know when the race was over. However, when they had been running half an hour or so and were quite dry again, the dodo suddenly called out,
"The race is over!"
And they all crowded around, panting and asking, "But who has won?" This question the dodo could not answer without a great deal of thought, and it sat for a long time with one finger pressed up on its forehead, which is not something that I can easily replicate. Like this, I guess. It's weird when you don't have like completely human proportions, like realistic human proportions, like me. I can kind of do it. That kind of works. Actually, they probably sounded more like Americans because Americans kept the accent the British had, and the British were the ones who changed. So I heard that, but I'm skeptical. I'm not gonna believe it unless I do some research on that myself. Gonna readjust myself a little bit. There we go. This question the dodo could not answer without a great deal of thought, and it sat for a long time with one finger pressed up against its forehead, the position in which you usually see Shakespeare in the pictures of him, while the rest waited in silence. At last the dodo said,
"Everybody has won, and all must have prizes."
"But who is to give the prizes?" quite a chorus of voices asked. Dodo birds were very dead. This is also true.
"Why, she, of course,"
said the dodo, pointing to Alice with one finger. Oh, why, she, of course. One finger. Just a one. That one. Right there. And and the whole party at once crowded around her, calling out in a confused way, "Prizes! Prizes!" Alice had no idea what to do, and in despair, she put her hand into her pocket and pulled out a box of comfits. Luckily, the saltwater had not gotten into it. These are types of candy, which I know because of this book, and otherwise I would not know at all. And handed them round as prizes. There was exactly one apiece all round. But she must have a prize herself, you know, said the mouse.
Of course, the dodo replied very gravely. What else have you got in your pocket?
He went on, turning to Alice as I turned the page. Only a thimble. Oh, wait. Only a thimble, said Alice sadly.
Hand it over here,
said the dodo. Then they all crowded round her once more, while the dodo solemnly presented the thimble, saying,
We beg your acceptance of this elegant thimble.
And when it had finished this short speech, they all cheered. Everyone cheer. Cheer in chat. Do it. Cheer in chat right now. Do it for Alice. Cheer for Alice. Cheer for Alice. You don't want Alice to be fucking sad, do you? You gotta cheer for her. Fucking cheer for her right now. Oh my god. Yeah, that's good. We gotta cheer. Woo, yeah. See, that's fun. That's what's fun about live streaming. It's just like, hey, chat. And then you guys are like, yeah. Alice Fog. That would be fun. That would be a fun emote. Some Alice themed emote. Where was I? You guys distracted me. It's me. I'm kidding. I did it. Alice thought the whole thing was very absurd, but they all looked so grave that she did not dare to laugh, and as she could not think of anything to say, she simply bowed. And I bow. No, I don't, because I can't do that because my camera's not good enough. Is the lizard actually like the real Pog now? Because like I love that one. Oh my god, Fibri. Now I'm gonna have to do this in Uwu. Okay. She simply, hold on. Hello. She simply bowed. I took the temple. Oh my god, Blinkong, hi. Oh my god, thank you so much for following. Welcome. I've seen you around. It's a surprise you haven't followed me yet, actually. But I mean, you know, no hate. I'm not looking angry. This is just what happens when I scratch my nose. Don't worry about it. Lost my way again. Oh well, she simply bowed and took the temple, looking as solemn as she could. The first thing was to eat the comfits. This caused some noise and confusion, as the watchbirds complained that they could not taste theirs, and the small ones choked and had to be patted on the back. However, it was over at last, and my hand's fucking up again. My nose is being itchy again, as is customary. It was over at last, and I sat down again in a ring and begged the mouse to tell them something more. You promised to tell. I hope you like that. I would keep going until like the end of this page, but I feel like it becomes hard to understand what I'm saying, and the idea is that you understand what I'm saying in this stream, so I hope you understand that I don't keep going as long as I might have otherwise. You promised to tell me your history, you know, said Alice, and why it is that you hate the C and the D slur. That's not what it says. It says C and D, which I think is kind of funny. Unlike all the other streams where we are completely lost. Yeah, but then it's like part of the fun. But if you can't keep up with the story that I'm reading, then like what's the point of me even reading it to you? You know what I mean? Anyway, and why is it that you hate C and D? Oh, C and D, she added in a whisper, half afraid that it would be offending again. She actually says C and D. That's kind of fun. Mine is a long and sad tale, said the mouse, turning to Alice and sighing. It is a long tale, certainly, said Alice, looking down with wonder at the mouse's tail. But why do you call it sad? And she kept on puzzling about it while the mouse was speaking, so that her idea of the tale was something like this. And the words are all scrambled all over the page now. It's not like uniform, it's just like in a weird whooshy motion on the page. I love when writers do that. Like in A Series of Unfortunate Events, when the writer's like, it was so dark, I will show you how dark it is, and you flip the page and it's just entirely black. It's so good. Mhm. Where was I? Fury said to a mouse that he met in the house, "Let us both go to law. I will prosecute you. Come, I'll take no denial. We must have the trial. For really this morning I've nothing to do." Said the mouse to such a cur. "Such a trial, dear sir, with no jury or judge, would be wasting our breath. I'll be judge. I'll be Fury," said cunning old Fury. "I'll try the whole cause and condemn you to death." There's death in this book. This bitch got ADHD. Alice is so fucking relatable, honestly. Okay. The Cecil cat. The Cecil cat girl. "You are not attending," said the mouse to Alice severely. "What are you thinking of?" "I beg your pardon," said Alice very humbly. "You had got to the fifth bend, I think?" "I had not!" cried the mouse sharply and very angrily. A knot," said Alice, always ready to make herself useful and looking anxiously about her. "Oh, do let me help to undo it." "I shall do nothing of the sort," said the mouse, getting up and walking away. "You insult me by talking such nonsense." "I didn't mean it," pleaded poor Alice, "but you are so easily offended, you know." See this? The mouse only growled in reply. "Please come back and finish your story," Alice called after it, and the others all joined in chorus. "Yes, please do." But the mouse only shook its head impatiently and walked a little quieter. That's what I mean. Like, Alice gets like, she doesn't get mad, but she gets opinionated, and it's funny. But the mouse only shook its head impatiently and walked a little quieter, as if that's gonna make sure that people don't, like, still see you walking. You're on an open beach, but, you know, whatever. "What a pity it wouldn't say—" Oh, no, wait, this is the lorry. What does the lorry sound like again? Oh, yeah. "What a pity it wouldn't stay," sighed the lorry, as soon as it was quite out of sight. And an old crab took the opportunity of saying to her daughter,
"Oh, my dear, let this be a lesson to you never to lose your temper."
Hold your... Oh, wait, that was a woman. Well, she still sounds like that. I don't care. Women can sound like that. Hold your tongue, Ma, said the young crab, a little snappishly. "You're enough to try the patience of an oyster." "I wish I had Dana here. I know I do," said Alice aloud, addressing nobody in particular. "She'd soon fetch it back." Yeah, that's exactly why... Alice. "And who is Dana, if I might venture to ask the question?" said the lorry. Alice replied eagerly, for she was always ready to talk about her pet. Dana. What did I? Dana. I think it's Dana. "Dana's our cat, and she's such a capital one for catching mice you can't think. And oh, I wish you could see her after the birds. Why, she would eat a little bird as soon as look at it." This speech caused a remarkable sensation among the party. Some of the birds hurried off at once. One old magpie began wrapping itself up very carefully, remarking, "I really must be getting home. The night air doesn't suit my throat." And a canary called out in a trembling voice to its children, "Come away, my dears. It's high time you were all in bed." On various pretexts, they all moved off, and Alice was soon left alone. "I wish I hadn't mentioned Dana," she said to herself in a melancholy voice. "Nobody seems to like her down here, and I'm sure she's the best cat in the world. Oh, my dear Dana. Nobody seems to..." Wait, that's the same thing. Hold on. My throat's getting a little dry, so I'm gonna have a sippy. That's better. We continue once I've found where I was in the story. Damn, my cat could totally murder you all. Dude, if my cat was here, you'd all be so fucking dead. It'd be awesome. Oh shit, Glefcomet's a rich bitch. Hey, mods, get him out of here. Get this rich asshole out of here. Get him out. To the beaches with you. That maybe That's maybe a little insensitive to say that. But go, get out of here. Get muted. Get muted for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is. I forgot. Get on that, mods. If you would. She just won't stop committing microaggressions. Yeah, it's funny. That's what's funny about her. It's bad, obviously, but it's very funny. And she's a child, so. Silence. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. L. Very good job. Where the fuck was I? I wish I hadn't mentioned Dana. She said to herself in a melancholy tone. Nobody seems to like her down here, and I'm sure she's the best cat in the world. Oh, my dear Dana. I wonder if I shall ever see you anymore. And here poor Alice began to cry again, as she felt very lonely and low-spirited. In a little while, however, she again heard a little pattering of footsteps in the distance, and she looked up eagerly, half hoping that the mouse had changed his mind and was coming back to finish the story. Chapter 4. Wait, already? That's a weird place. Yep, okay, that's where the chapter ends. I think we're gonna switch to my other hand because I'm like holding it with the book with one hand. It's kind of a thick book because it's both stories. It's Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. So now I'm gonna be looking this way, or I can do this and this. This works, I guess. Chapter 4. Chapter 4. Maybe you should take off the gauntlets. Absolutely not. They are welded onto my body. Oh no, now it's detecting my book hand. Oh dear. That's a bit annoying. Okay, there we go. The rabbit sends in a little bill. It was the white rabbit, trotting slowly back again and looking anxiously about as it went, as if it had lost something. And she heard it muttering to herself. The Duchess, oh my dear paws, oh my fur and whiskers, she'll get me executed. As sure as ferrets are ferrets. Where can I have dropped them, I wonder? Alice guessed in a moment that it was looking for the fan and the pair of white kid gloves, and she very good-naturedly began hunting about for them, but they were nowhere to be seen. Everything seemed to have changed since her swim in the pool, and the great hall with the glass table and the little door had vanished completely. Next page. I'm just gonna hold it with two hands, actually, I think, because then I can still, like, you know, look you guys' way also, instead of left to look this way, or, well, don't worry about it. Very soon the rabbit noticed Alice as she went hunting about and called out to her in an angry tone. Why, Marianne, what are you doing out here? Run home this instant and fetch me a pair of gloves and a fan. Quick now! And Alice was so much frightened that she ran off at once in the direction it pointed to, without trying to explain the mistake that it had made. He took me for his housemaid, she said to herself as she ran. How surprised he'll be when he finds out who I am. But I'd better take him his fan and gloves. That is, if I can find them. As she said this, she came upon a neat little house, on the door of which was a bright brass plate with the name W. Rabbit engraved upon it. She went in without knocking and hurried upstairs, in great fear lest she should meet the real Marianne and be turned out of the house before she had found the fan and gloves. How queer, how nice. It seems, Alice said to herself, to be going messages for a rabbit. I suppose Dana will be sending me on messages next. And she began fancying the sort of thing that would happen. Miss Alice, come here directly and get ready for your walk. Coming in a minute. No. God, my throat. It's almost like talking this much for an hour and a half is like bad for your throat. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna chug some honey. That'll help. Be right back. This one. There we go. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. We're back. There's no next game because there is no current game. Loophole. How can it be a next game if there's no current game? Anyway, I got my honey. So that'll help, probably. I'll leave it here in case I need it again later. Don't mind my hand, don't worry about it. This stream is sponsored by honey. The game we play is Game of Life, and yeah, I would like the next one, actually. This Game of Life is not that great. Just my... I'm back, Corvus, don't worry about it. I'm back now. But glad to hear your Wi-Fi's doing better. And so is my throat, I think. Seems like it, so we're good. Okay, so, gonna continue. Join honey, because I actually... Okay, I'm not sponsored by honey, but I do use honey, and it is useful sometimes. So, you know, there is something to be said for that. How queer it seems, Alice said to herself, to be going messages for a rabbit. I suppose Dana'll be sending me your messages next. And she began fancying the sort of thing that would happen. Miss Alice, come here directly and get ready for your walk. Coming in a minute, nurse, but I've got to watch this mouse hole till Dana comes back and see that the mouse doesn't get out. Only I don't think, Alice went on, that they'd let Dana stop in the house if she began ordering people around. Like that. By this time, she had found her way into a tidy little room with a table and a window, and on it, as she had hoped, a fan and 2 or 3 pairs of tiny white kid gloves. She took up the fan and a pair of the gloves and was just about going to leave the room when her eye fell upon a little bottle that stood near the looking glass. Ooh, looking glass. Oh, it's foreshadowing for the next book, yes, and not just what they called mirrors back in the day. Where the fuck was I? Yes, studying a looking glass. There was no label this time with the words "drink me," but nevertheless she uncorked it and put it to her lips for some reason. I know something interesting is sure to happen, she said to herself. Whenever I eat or drink anything, I'll just see what this bottle does. Alice is a D&D player. Like, we all know. That's how you do it. No, she didn't even check if it was poison this time, right? God, it's idiot. Fucking icon. Whatever. I do hope it'll make me grow large again, for really I'm quite tired of being such a tiny little thing. Dark Souls, you're tiny. It did so indeed, and much sooner than she had expected. Before she had drunk half the bottle, she found her head pressed against the ceiling and had to stoop to save her neck from being broken. She hastily put down the bottle, saying to herself, "That's quite enough. I hope I shan't grow any more. As it is, I can't get out the door. I do wish I hadn't drunk quite as much." Alas, it was too late to wish for that. She went on growing and growing and growing, and very soon she had to kneel down on the floor. In another minute, there was not even room for this, and she tried the effect of laying down, with one elbow against the door, and the other arm curled around her head. Okay, still she went on growing, and as a last resource, she put one arm out the window and one foot up the chimney, and said to herself, "Now I can do no more. Whatever happens, what will become of me?" Luckily for Alice, the little magic bottle had now had its full effect, and she grew no larger. Still, it was very uncomfortable, and as there seemed to be no sort of chance for her ever getting out of the room again, no wonder she felt unhappy. I fucking love it. I love that anytime anything happens to her, she's just like, what an inconvenience. It's so good. And she drank it. She's the one who, like, whatever. It was much pleasanter at home, thought poor Alice, when one wasn't always growing larger and small. This sucks, dude. When she wasn't always growing larger and smaller and being ordered around by mice and rabbits. I almost wish I hadn't gone down that rabbit hole, and yet And yet, it's rather curious, you know, this sort of life. I wonder what can have happened to me. When I used to read fairy tales, I fancied that sort of thing. Never happened. When I used to read fairy tales, I fancied that kind of thing never happened. Oh, fancied as in like I thought, I assumed. It's old English. And now here I am in the middle of one. There ought to be a book written about me. That were ought. And when I grow up, I'll write one. But I've grown up now, she added in a sorrowful tone. At least there's no room to grow any more hair. But then, thought Alice, shall I never get any older than I am now? That'll be a comfort one way, never to be an old woman. But then, always to have lessons to learn. Oh, I shouldn't like that. Oh, you foolish Alice, she answered herself. How can you learn lessons in here? Why, there's hardly room for you and no room at all for any lesson books. And so she went on, taking first one side and then the other, and making quite a conversation of it altogether. But after a few minutes, she heard a voice outside and stopped to listen.
Marianne, said the voice. Fetch me my gloves this moment.
Then came a little pattering of feet on the stairs. Alice knew it was the rabbit coming to look for her, and she trembled till she shook the house, quite forgetting that she was now about 1,000 times as large as the rabbit, and had no reason to be afraid of it. And that book shall be called Ellie in the Wacky Land. The Wacky Land. I like the Wacky Land. That's good. Presently, the rabbit came upon the door and tried to open it, but as the door opened inward and Alice's elbow was pressed against it, that attempt proved a failure. Alice heard it say to itself, "Then I'll go around and get in at the window." That you won't, thought Alice, and after waiting till she fancied she heard the rabbit just under the window, she suddenly spread out her hand and made a snatch in the air. She did not get hold of anything, but she heard a little shriek and a fall and a crash of broken glass, from which she concluded that it was just possible it had fallen into a cucumber frame or something of the sort, and had now had several shards of sharp glass, embedded into its back, because that's what it fell on, and Alice had claimed another victim. Good job, Alice. We praise you. Just gets decked in the face. That would also be really good. Would be better, actually, now that I think about it. Punching. Yeah. Alice in a series of very strange events where she kills a bunch of people. Alice commits first-degree murder! It's not first... No, wait, she definitely didn't intend actually to kill. So, yeah, that's first-degree murder. Next came an angry voice. The rabbit's. Pet! Pet, where are you? And then a voice she had never heard before. Sure then, I'm here. Digging for apples, Your Honor. Digging for apples indeed, said the rabbit angrily. Here, come and help me out of this. Sounds of more broken glass as the wounds got worse. Now tell me, Pet, what's that in the window? Sure, an arm, Your Honor. Okay, so this character, Billy, is a lizard. I'm gonna tell you now, but I think it's clear that it's a servant, so product of the time, you know how it is. We're not gonna dwell on it for too long. Sure, it's an arm, Your Honor. I also don't know what voice I should give him. I'm just gonna give him a normal voice, it's fine. I'll make him a pirate. Sure, it's an arm, Your Honor. He pronounced it arm. Arm. He's an arm. Whatever, I don't know. An arm, you goose! Whoever, ooh! Brody, oh my god, thank you! Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that, thank you. It will go towards getting a capture card, so I can stream console games and stuff. Like Splatoon 3, oh yeah, hell yeah. An arm, you goose! Whoever saw one that size? Why, it fills the whole window! Sure it does, Your Honor, but it's an arm, for all that. Well, it's got no business being there at any rate. Go and take it away. My nose is itchy. There was a long silence after this, and Alice could only hear whispers now and then, such as, Sure, I don't like it, Your Honor. At all. Do as I tell you, you coward. and at last she spread out her hand again and made another snatch in the air. This time there were 2 little shrieks, and more sounds of broken glass. That's 2 kills. Good job, Alice. You're on a kill streak. What a number of cucumber frames there must be, thought Alice. I wonder what they'll do next. As for pulling me out of the window, I only wish they could. I'm sure I don't want to stay in here any longer. She waited for some time without hearing anything more. At last came a rumbling of little cartwheels and the sound of a good many voices all talking together. She made out the words, "Where's the other ladder? Why, I hadn't to bring but one. Bill's got the other. Bill, fetch it here, lad. Here, put him up at this corner. No, tie him together first. They don't reach half high enough yet. Oh, they'll do well enough. Don't be particular. Here, Bill, catch hold of this rope. Will the roof bear?" I feel like my face just looks really weird all the time when I'm looking down at the book. But that is just gonna be the case, sadly. Last man. Mind that loose slate. Oh, it's coming down. Heads below. A loud crash. Now, who did that? It was Bill, I fancy. Who's to go down the chimney? Nay, I shan't. What looks a little flat? My face? I mean, it is just like textures and stuff. You do it. That I won't, then. Bill's got to go down. Here, Bill. The master says you've got to go down the chimney. Oh, so Bill's got to come down the chimney, has he? Said Alice to herself. Why, they seem to put everything upon Bill. I wouldn't be in Bill's place for a good deal. This fireplace is narrow, to be sure, but I think I can kick a little. She drew her foot as far down the chimney as she could and waited till she heard a little animal, she couldn't guess of what sort it was, scratching and scrambling up in the chimney close above her. Then, saying to herself, "This is Bill." Weird thing to say to yourself, but okay. She gave one sharp kick and waited to see what would happen next. The first thing she heard was a general chorus of, "There goes Bill!" Then the rabbit's voice alone, "Catch him! You, by the hedge!" Then silence, and then another confusion of voices. "Hold up his head, brandy now, don't choke him. How was it, old fellow? What happened to you? Tell us all about it." Alice, what is your damage? I know, she's such a sack of shit. It's hilarious. Last came a little, feeble, squeaking voice. "That's Bill," thought Alice. Well, I hardly know. No more, thank you. I'm better now, but I'm a deal too flustered to tell you. All I know is something comes at me like a jack-in-the-box, and up I goes like a skyrocket. Hey, so rockets are a thing. That's interesting, isn't it? They use the word rocket. Ain't that interesting? They call it a skyrocket. But, I mean, this was in the 1800s. Is that a firework? Oh, is that a firework? Okay. I guess that makes sense. So you did, old fellow, said the others. We must burn the house down, said the rabbit's voice, and Alice called out as loud as she could. If you do, I'll set Dana on you. There was a dead silence instantly, and Alice thought to herself, I wonder what they will do next. If they had any sense, they'd take the roof off. After a minute or two, they began moving about again, and Alice heard the rabbit say, A barrowful will do, to begin with. A barrowful of what? Thought Alice, but she had not long to doubt, for the next moment a shower of little pebbles came rattling in at the window, and some of them hit her in the face. I'll put a stop to this, she said to herself, and shouted out, You'd better not do that again, which produced another dead silence. Welcome back, Lefka. What did you see on the beach? How was the rich beach? You rich bitch. Alice noticed with some surprise that the pebbles were all turning into little cakes as they lay on the floor, and a bright idea came into her head. If I eat one of these cakes, she thought, it's sure to make some change in my size, and as it can't possibly make me any larger, it must make me smaller, I suppose. So she swallowed one of the cakes, and was delighted to find that she began shrinking directly. Soon, she was small enough to get through the door. She ran out of the house and found Jesus Christ. There was a turtle at the beach. That's great. I love turtles. There's a turtle in this book as well, but you haven't gotten to them yet. All this size changing can be healthy. Okay, all this size changing can't be. Oh, hi! Hi, optional. Hi. That was optional. Did you see him? Oh, that's why you said hi, optional earlier, Brody. Because, oh, I get it now. Yeah, they come around sometimes. Other size changing can be healthy. Well, I mean, she's also just like eating a bunch of junk food. That's just like what happens, you know, just a bunch of cakes and like soda or something. That's just what happens. That's what unhealthy means. Oh, we come to a part of the book that's like never adapted. Barely ever. That's fun. So she swallowed one of the cakes and was delighted to find that she began shrinking directly. As soon as she was small enough to go through the door, she ran out of the house and found quite a crowd of little animals and birds waiting outside. The poor little lizard, Bill, was in the middle, being held up by 2 guinea pigs, who were giving it something out of a bottle. They all made a rush at Alice the moment she appeared, but she ran off as hard as she could, and soon she found herself safe in a thick wood. The first thing I've got to do, said Alice to herself as she wandered about in the wood, is to grow to my right size again, and the second thing is to find my way into that lovely garden. I think that will be the best plan. It sounded like an excellent plan, no doubt, and very neatly and simply arranged. The only difficulty was that she had not the smallest idea of how to, because she's small, on how to set about it, and while she was peering about anxiously among the trees, a little sharp bark just over her head made her look up in a great hurry. An enormous puppy was looking down at her with large round eyes and feebly stretching out one paw, trying to touch her. Poor little thing, said Alice in a coaxing tone, and she tried hard to whistle to it, but she was terribly frightened all the time at the thought that it might be hungry, in which case it would very likely eat her in spite of all her coaxing. Hardly knowing what she did, she picked up a little bit of stick and held it out to the puppy, whereupon the puppy jumped in the air off all its feet at once with a yelp of delight and rushed out at the thicket and made believe to worry it rushed at the stick, not the thicket. Rushed at the stick and made believe to worry it. Then Alice dodged behind a great thistle to keep herself from being run over. The moment she appeared on the other side, the puppy made another rush at the stick and tumbled head over heels in its hurry to get a hold of it. Then Alice, thinking it was very like having a game of play with a cart horse, and expecting every moment to be trampled under his feet, ran round the thistle again. Then the puppy began a series of short charges at the stick, running a very little forward each time and a long way back, and barking hoarsely all the while, till at last it sat down a good way off, panting, with its tongue hanging out of its mouth and its great eyes half shut. It seemed to Alice a good opportunity to make her escape, so she set off at once and ran till she was quite tired and out of breath, until the puppy's bark sounded quite faint in the distance. And yet what a dear little puppy it was, said Alice as she leaned against a buttercup to rest herself and fond herself with one of the leaves. I should have liked teaching its tricks very much, if I'd only been the right size to do it. Oh dear, I'd nearly forgotten I've got to grow up again. Let me see, how is it to be managed? I suppose I ought to eat or drink something or other, but the great question is, what? The great question certainly was, what? Alice looked around at the flowers and the blades of grass, but she could not see anything that looked like the right thing to eat or drink under the circumstances. There was a large mushroom growing near her, about the same height as herself, and when she had looked under it, and on both sides of it and behind it, it occurred to her that she might as well look and see what was on top of it. Again, such fun writing. She stretched herself up to tiptoe and peeped over the edge of the mushroom, and her eyes immediately met those of a large blue caterpillar that was sitting on the top with its arms folded, quietly smoking a long hookah? A bong, and taking not the smallest notice of her or anything else. What's a hookah? Is a hookah bong? Is it something else? I don't know. And here is the chapter that gets all of the really dumb, oh, she's doing drugs fan art. Hookah is pretty much bum, yeah. Chapter 5. Yay! Audience from a caterpillar. The caterpillar and Alice looked at each other for some time in silence. Water pipe, isn't that just also a bong? Isn't that what that is? Water pipe is Dutch, everyone, just for context. The caterpillar and Alice looked at each other for some time in silence. At last, the caterpillar took the hookah out of its mouth and addressed her in a languid, sleepy voice. What? Okay, languid and sleepy. Oh, I am the caterpillar. Yes, this is what a caterpillar sounds like. Who are you? Said the caterpillar. This was not an encouraging opening for a conversation. Alice replied, rather shyly, I hardly know, sir, just at present. At least I know who I was when I got up this morning, but I think I must have been changed several times since then. What do you mean by that? Said the caterpillar sternly. Explain yourself. I can't explain myself, I'm afraid, sir, said Alice. Because I'm not myself, you see. I don't see, said the caterpillar. I'm afraid I can't put it more clearly, Alice replied very politely, for I can't understand it myself to begin with, and being so many different sizes in a day is very confusing. It isn't, said the caterpillar. Well, perhaps... Ooh! Oh my god! Fibry! Oh my god, you gave subs. Oh my god, thank you! 24? That's so fucking many, dude. Oh my god. You kidding me? There's not even enough people for that. I don't have enough viewers. Oh my god. Thank you. Thank you so much. Again, like you keep doing that. What the hell was that? Did you guys see that? Something just like fell from the sky here. That was weird. Huh. Weird. Anyway, thank you. You're so kind. You keep doing this. It's amazing. Thank you. And enjoy, everyone, I guess. It's torch particles, is it? Torch particles from this? From the lantern? It comes over so... My nose is still itchy, by the way. Still itchy nose. Anyway, let's continue. It isn't, said the caterpillar. Well, perhaps you haven't found it so yet, said Alice, but when you have to turn into a chrysalis, you will someday, you know, and then after that into a butterfly, I should think you'll feel it a little bit queer, won't you? Not a bit, said the caterpillar. Not a bit, said the caterpillar. Well, perhaps your feelings may be different, said Alice. All I know is it would feel very queer to me. Trans, innit? Yeah. Someday you'll find out you're trans, caterpillar, just like I, Alice, have. You, said the caterpillar contemptuously, who are you? Which brought them back again to the beginning of the conversation. Alice felt a little irritated at the caterpillar for making such very short remarks, and she drew herself up and said very gravely, I think you ought to tell me who you are first. Why? Said the caterpillar. Here was another puzzling question, and as Alice could not think of any good reason, and as the caterpillar seemed to be in a very unpleasant state of mind, she turned away. Come back, said the caterpillar, calling after her. I've got something important to say. This sounded promising, certainly. Alice turned around and came back. Keep your temper. Keep your temper. God, the R is like hard to do. Can you guys hear? Temper. Temper? Temper. Temper? It's clear enough, I think. Is that all? Said Alice, swallowing down her anger as well as she could. No, said the caterpillar. Alice thought she might as well wait, as she had nothing else to do, and perhaps after all, it might tell her something worth hearing. For some minutes, it puffed away without speaking. But also there... God, this fucking transphobic caterpillar. That sucks. I mean, kind of though. It sounds like it, right? For some minutes it puffed away without speaking, but at last it unfolded its arms, took the hookah out of its mouth again, and said, So you think you're changed, do you? I'm afraid I am, sir, said Alice. I can't remember things I used to, and I don't keep the same size for 10 minutes together. Can't remember what things, said the caterpillar. Well, I've tried to say how doth the little busy bee, but it all came different, Alice replied in a very melancholy voice. Repeat, you are old, Father William, said the caterpillar. Alice folded her hands and began. Again, this is one that I personally don't know, other than this fucked up version from Alice in Wonderland, which is great. Okay, here we go. You are old, Father William, the young man said, and your hair has become very white. And yet you insistently stand on your head. Do you think at your age it is right? It is my youth, Father William replied to his son. I feared it might injure the brain, but now that I'm perfectly sure I have none, why, I do it again and again. That one only works if you say again instead of again. Or you have to say bran instead of brain. That don't sound good. Kind of funny. Something to think about. Maybe we should say bran. To confuse things even more. Because bran is already a word, I'm pretty sure. You are old, said the youth, as I mentioned before, and have grown most uncommonly fat. Yet you turned a back somersault in at the door. Pray, what is the reason for that? In my youth, said the sage as he shook his grey locks, I kept all my limbs very supple. By the use of this ointment, 1 shilling the box. Allow me to sell you a couple. Oh no, I wrinkled the page. No. It's fine, it's not that bad. My hand's hurting again though. Gonna switch to the other one for a bit as I shake my hand off like this. Shake it out. The whistle is through the floor. You're old, said the youth, and your jaws are too weak for anything tougher than sweet, S-U-E-T. Yet you finished the goose with the bones and the beak. Pray, how did you manage to do it? In my youth, said his father, I took to the law and argued each case with my wife, and the muscular strength which it gave to my jaw has lasted the rest of my life. Arguably a bit of misogyny in there, don't worry about it. New donation goal, another copy of Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. What, like, I buy it? I already have 4. I already have 4 different editions of Alice in Wonderland, so I think I'm good. I hate my wife. How did you do it? I hate my wife. How does that work? I hate her. This copy is ruined now. Oh, that's why. I get it. I need another version of this one. I'm dumb. I don't understand things as we know. You are old, said the youth. No, but like, see, this wrinkle in it tells a story, a memory between you and me. I will look upon it and remember the nice time we had together. So it's not so bad. You know, this is not just a copy of Alice in Wonderland. This is my copy. This is our copy. Communism. You are old, said the youth. One would hardly suppose that your eye was as steady as ever. Yet you balanced an eel on the end of your nose. What made you so awfully clever? I've answered 3 questions, and that is enough, said his father. Don't give yourself airs. Do you think I can listen all day to such stuff? Be off, or I'll kick you downstairs. Oh my god, the art is here in this page is so good. I wish I could show it. We'll get to it. Maybe I'll show it later. Take a picture and post it in Discord. Join the Discord, or you know, whatever you want. That is not right, said the caterpillar. Not quite right, I'm afraid, said Alice timidly. Some of the words have gotten altered. Thank you for the link for the Discord. It is wrong from beginning to end, said the caterpillar decidedly, and there was silence for some minutes. I need more honey. Give me a second. Chug. Much better. Sponsored by honey. That's right. But now my hands are kind of sticky because the outside of the bottle is kind of sticky. Can't be having that. I'll wipe it on my tights. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Sponsored by Sticky. With an H, actually. Common. It's lots of people get it wrong. It's with an H. Okay. It is wrong from beginning to end, said the caterpillar decidedly, and there was silence for some minutes. The caterpillar was the first to speak. What size do you want to be? It asked. Oh, I'm not particular as to size, Alice hastily replied. Only one doesn't like changing so often, you know. I don't know, said the caterpillar. Alice said nothing. She had never been so much contradicted in all her life before, and she felt that she was losing her temper. Are you content now? Said the caterpillar. Well, I should like to be a little larger, sir, if you wouldn't mind, said Alice. 3 inches is such a wretched height to be. It is actually kind of bad that I don't have those things close to me now that you mention it. And speaking of now, it's 9 p.m., which means I have to take my meds. Or my gal pill. It is a Wednesday today. I got like one of those little boxes with the days of the week on it, because otherwise I like, because then I make sure that I don't forget, you know. I can do like, did I take it yet? And, you know, run to go crowd. Takes estrogen, I mean. I hacked the system. I become girl. So I was referring to the category asking about what size you want to be. Wait, what did I say? Girl size. That's good. I like that. Where was I? Well, I should like to be a little larger, sir, if you wouldn't mind, said Alice. 3 inches is such a wretched height to be. It is a very good height indeed, said the caterpillar angrily, rearing itself upright as it spoke. It was exactly 3 inches high. But I'm not used to it, pleaded poor Alice in a piteous tone, and she thought to herself, I wish the creatures wouldn't be so easily offended. Ugh, fucking snowflake. You'll get used to it in time, said the caterpillar, as it put the hookah into its mouth and began smoking again. Is that what smoking looks like? I don't know. My mouth didn't open, but don't worry about it. This time, Alice waited patiently until it chose to speak again. In a minute or two, the caterpillar took the hookah out of its mouth and yawned once or twice and shook itself. Then it got down off the mushroom and crawled away into the grass, merely remarking as it went, One side will make you grow taller, and the other side will make you grow shorter. One side of what? The other side of what? Thought Alice to herself. Of the mushroom, said the caterpillar, just as if she had asked it aloud, and in another moment it was out of sight. Alice remained... Dude, this caterpillar can do some fucking sick vape tricks. Oh my god. It can make them in like a heart shape. Alice dissatisfied with 3 inches, just like the caterpillar's. Bad. Alice remained looking thoughtfully at the mushroom for a minute, trying to make out which were the two sides of it, and as it was perfectly round, she found this a very difficult question. However, at last she stretched her arms around as far as they would go and break off a bit off the edge with each hand. And now which is which? She said to herself, and nibbled a little on the right hand bit to try the effect. The next moment she felt a violent blow underneath her chin. It had struck her foot. And this is a drawing that looks so fucking funny. She looks like Kirby in this. It's just like, it's her head. It's her head on her shoes with her hands. There's no other parts of her body. It looks fucking hilarious. She was a good deal frightened by this very sudden change, but she felt that there was no time to lose as she was shrinking rapidly, so she set to work at once to eat some of the other bit. Her chin was pressed so closely against her foot that there was hardly room to open her mouth, but she did it at last and managed to swallow a morsel of the left-hand bit. Goomballis! Oh my god! That is what it looks like. Come, my head's free at last, said Alice in a tone of delight, which changed into alarm in another moment when she found that her shoulders were nowhere near to be found. All she could see when she looked down was an immense length of neck, which seemed to rise like a stalk out of a sea of green leaves that lay far below her. What can all that green stuff be? Said Alice. And where have my shoulders got to? And oh, my poor hands, how is it that I can't see you? She was moving them about as she spoke, but no result seemed to follow, except a little shaking among the distant green leaves. As there seemed to be no chance of getting her hands up to her head, she tried to get her head down to them, and was delighted to find that her neck would bend about easily in any direction, like a serpent. She had just succeeded in curving in down into a graceful zigzag, and was going to dive in among the leaves, which she found to be nothing but the tops of the trees under which she had been wandering, when a sharp hiss made her draw back in a hurry. A large pigeon had flown into her face and was beating her violently with its wings. What are you guys saying? She needs to take a look at those hands. I get it. Nice. Shouldn't have been messing around with mushrooms. Should leave it to... Hey. Oh, this is like the coldest take ever, I assume. But do you think the mushrooms in Super Mario Brothers are based on Alice in Wonderland? Like, definitely, right? Like, for sure. For sure. Like, definitely. They are. Pigeon! There's a pigeon! Right here, there's a pigeon! Yeah, there's a pigeon. There's, right? Alice in Wonderland, mushroom, get big, get small. Mario. That's the oldest thing you could say. No, yeah. I realized it. I was like, that's not the first time. That's not even the first time I've realized that. I'm pretty sure I've made that realization before. But I'm very dumb and forgetful. As we know, I have very little memory. So, forgive. Please. Anyway, a large pigeon had flown into her face and was beating her violently with its wings. Serpent! Screamed the pigeon. I'm not a serpent, said Alice indignantly. Let me alone. Serpent, I say again! Repeated the pigeon, but in a more subdued tone, and added with a kind of sob, I've tried every way and nothing seems to suit them. I haven't the least idea what you're talking about, said Alice. I've tried the roots of trees, and I've tried banks, and I've tried hedges. The pigeon went on, without attending to her. But those serpents, there's no pleasing them. Alice was more and more puzzled, but she thought that there was no use in saying anything more till the pigeon had finished. As if it wasn't trouble enough hatching the eggs, said the pigeon, but I must be on the lookout for serpents day and night. Why, I haven't had a wink of sleep these 3 weeks. I'm very sorry you've been annoyed, said Alice, who was beginning to see his meaning. And just as I'd taken... No, that's pigeon again, this is wrong voice. Pigeon's time. I'm not gonna say it's a hot take, but I hadn't connected the two before. Well, okay, then I'm not alone, I guess. Pigeon upon. And just as I'd taken the highest tree in the wood, continued the pigeon, raising its voice to a shriek, and just as I was thinking I should be free of them at last, they must needs come wriggling down from the sky. Ugh, serpent! But I'm not a serpent, I tell you, said Alice. I'm a... Well, what are you? Said the pigeon. I can see you're trying to invent something. I'm a little girl, said Alice rather doubtfully as she remembered the number of changes she had gone through that day. A likely story indeed, said the pigeon in a tone of the deepest contempt. I've seen a good many little girls in my time, but never one with such a neck as that. No, you're a serpent, and there's no use denying it. I suppose you'll be telling me next that you never tasted an egg. I have tasted eggs, certainly, said Alice, who was a very truthful child. But little girls eat eggs quite as much as serpents do, you know. I don't believe it, said the pigeon. But if they do, why then they are a kind of serpent, that's all I can say. This was such a new idea to Alice that she was quite silent for a minute or two, which gave the pigeon the opportunity of adding, You're looking for eggs! I know that well enough, and what does it matter to me whether you're a little girl or a serpent? Serpent. It matters a great deal to me, said Alice hastily, but I'm not looking for eggs, as it happens, and if I was, I wouldn't want yours. I don't like them raw. Well, be off then, said the pigeon in a sulky tone as it settled down again into its nest. Alice crouched down among the trees as well as she could, for her neck kept getting entangled among the branches, and every now and then she had to stop and untwist it. After a while, she remembered that she still held the pieces of mushroom in her hands, and she set to work very carefully nibbling first at one and then at the other, and growing sometimes taller and sometimes shorter, until she had succeeded in bringing herself to her usual height. Danny DeVito? Oh, egg. Can I offer you a nice egg in this trying time? No, but he's offering the egg, not taking them, so that's not Danny DeVito. If anything, the bird is Danny DeVito, but selfish, not offering anyone eggs. Alice becomes vegan after this. I could believe that. That seems pretty likely, actually, after this experience. She's like, I don't want to bother these fucking birds anymore. It was so long since she had been anything near the right size that it felt quite strange at first, but she got used to it in a few minutes and began talking to herself as usual. Come, there's half my plan done now. How puzzling all these changes are. I'm never sure what I'm going to be from one minute to another. However, I've got back to my right size. The next thing is to get into that beautiful garden. How is that to be done, I wonder? As she said this, she came suddenly upon an open place with a little house in it about 4 feet high. Four? That's, hold on. Sorry, man. 4 feet is like short, right? That's really short. How could you fit in there? I don't know. Oh no, wait, that comes. I remember now. That comes. He's stealing the eggs from the pigeons and offering them back to them in these trying times. Oh, he's that kind. He's like a con man. I get it. Me presenting myself from 5 months ago. May I offer you an egg in these trying times? That's really good. That rules. Suddenly upon an open place with a little house in it about 4 feet high. Whoever lives there, thought Alice, it'll never do to come upon them this size. Why, I should frighten them out of their wits. So she began nibbling at the right-hand bit again, and did not venture to go near the house till she had brought herself down to 9 inches high. So she just got to the right height, and it's immediately irrelevant. It gets shrunk again. I love that's what's so great about Alice in Wonderland. It's all nonsense. The same goes with the dog. It's like that was nothing. Why was there a dog? Who cares? Chapter 6. That's a 6. Pig and Pepper. So this chapter introduces both the worst and best character. So be excited for that. For a minute or two, she stood looking at the house and wondering what to do next, when suddenly a footman in livery, fancy clothing, Peppa Pig, oh my god, Pig and Pepper, Peppa Pig, that is really similar, you're right, huh? Interesting. Suddenly a footman in livery came running out of the wood. She considered him to be a footman because he was in livery, otherwise, judging by his face alone, she could have called him a fish, and rapped loudly at the door with his knuckles. Oh, Fuckles, it's Knuckles. Knuckles is here. He's got a little Knuckles figure and he's using it on the door. Because we love video game jokes here on Gauntlet Queen, the video game channel. It was opened by another footman in livery with a round face and large eyes like a frog, and both footmen, Alice noticed, had powdered hair that curled all over their heads. She felt very curious to know what this was all about and crept a little way out of the wood to listen. Yeah, she's just fucking rude. I know. She is, though. Like, let's be honest. And I don't care that the illustrations depict her as, depict them as a frog and a fish. That's just like, you know, the history is written by the winner, you know? The fish footman began by producing from under his arm a great letter, nearly as large as himself, and this he handed over to the other, saying in a solemn tone, "For the Duchess." Oh no, wait, solemn. For the Duchess. An invitation from. Oh no, wait, that's still the same sentence. I'm fucking up. Are you saying that you won over Alice? Because I'm telling the story? I could beat up Alice, like for sure, dude. No problem. Where was I? For the Duchess, an invitation from the Queen to play croquet. The frog footman repeated, in the same solemn tone, only changing the order of the words a little. From the Queen, an invitation for the Duchess to play croquet. Then they both bowed low, and their curls got untangled together. Alice laughed so much at this that she had to run back into the wood for fear of their hearing her, and when she next peeped out, the fish footman was gone, and the other was sitting on the ground near the door, staring stupidly up into the sky. Sorry, I had to swallow. Alice went timidly up to the door and knocked. How fucking rude is she, by the way? It's like, haha, these two are fucking in trouble and miserable and stuff. I'm gonna laugh at them. Ha ha ha. I love being rich, although these people, well, they're servants, so they're not rich themselves. Alice went timidly up to the door and knocked. There's no sort of use in knocking, said the footman. And that for two reasons. First, because I'm on the same side of the door as you are. Secondly, because they're making such a noise inside, no one could possibly hear you. Ribbit. Because the frog. But it's not. That's just her imprinting. And certainly there was a most extraordinary noise going on within. A constant howling and sneezing, and every now and then a great crash, as if a dish or a kettle had been broken to pieces. Please then, said Alice, how am I to get in? There might be some sense in your knocking, the footman went on without attending to her. If we had the door between us. For instance, if you were inside, you might knock and I could let you out, you know. He was looking up into the sky all the time he was speaking, and this Alice thought decidedly uncivil. But perhaps he can't help it, she said to herself. His eyes are so very nearly at the top of his head. But at any rate, he might answer questions. How am I to get in? She repeated aloud. I shall sit here, the footman remarked, till tomorrow. At this moment, the door of the house opened, and a large plate came skimming out. And my nose is itching real bad again. Fuck, God, I have to stop scratching it because it only makes it worse. But oh my God. Okay, I have to stop. Wait, what did I do last time? Just like splash a bunch of water on it or something? What if I did honey? Would honey be good? Would honey help? Probably not, right? Anyway. At this moment, the door of the house opened and a large plate came skimming out, straight at the footman's head. It just grazed his nose and broke to pieces against one of the trees near behind him. Or next day, maybe. The footman continued in the same tone, exactly as if nothing had happened. How am I to get in? Asked Alice again in a louder tone. Are you to get in at all? Said the footman. That's the first question, you know. It would make me sticky, but it would help. Hoiny. Hoiny? Hoiny. Hoiny. Hoiny sounds cute. Excuse me. God, this itches. Oh, God. Ugh. Are you to get in at all? Said the footman. That's the first question, you know. It was, no doubt. Only Alice did not like to be told so. It's really dreadful, she muttered to herself, the way all the creatures argue. It's enough to drive one crazy. The footman seemed to think this a good opportunity for repeating his remark without variations. I shall sit here, he said, on and off, for days and days. But what am I to do? Said Alice. Anything you like, said the footman, and began whistling. Oh, there's no use in talking to him, said Alice desperately. He's perfectly idiotic. Yeah, so it's fucking everyone you meet. And she opened the door and went in. The door led into a large kitchen, which was full of smoke from one end to the other. The Duchess was sitting on a three-legged stool in the middle, nursing a baby. The cook was leaning over the fire, stirring a large cauldron which seemed to be full of soup. Soup time! We love soup. So he whistles a tune. Okay, what do I whistle? What do I whistle? What do I... Got my fucking nose! It's so annoying. I think I'm gonna have to take a little break where I try to do that same thing. Yo, I don't know what the tune is. What tune do you... I guess I'll pick something. What's something frog-esque? What's a frog thing? What's a frog thing to whistle? Rainbow. Oh, Brody, speaking my language. Oh, can I whistle that one though? Hold on a second. it's a really, I find it to be a very difficult song to whistle. Over the Garden Wall is gonna be like maybe even harder. Is it? It's, hold on, I'll just put it on. I'll put it on and listen to it and I'll whistle to it. Rainbow Connection. Over the Garden Wall is also a good one though, I will say. Okay. Can I do it? Can I do it? This might suck. This might suck. Be prepared for it to suck. Okay. A lot of practice. That's how I do that. Thank you, Brody. I was about to hydrate. Yeah. I'm very good at whistling, I guess, but it's Rainbow Connection is a very hard song for me to sing, so I thought it'd be hard for me to whistle as well. It's like, okay, so the thing. Oh my God! Thank you for the 199 bits, Fibri. Thank you so much. So the thing is, oh yeah, it looks like I'm not. Oh my! What? That's 1,000! Oh, that's so many! Oh my God! Thank you, thank you, Meme Mixtape, for that 1,000 bits. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I have whistled for a long time, years and years and years, ever since I was little. So you know, I've gotten pretty good at it. And oh my god, it's another $5, Brody! Thank you so much,
That was
too.
amazing.
Thank you. I'm glad you guys appreciated that. Oh, and look, Optional's here to say hi too. And hi, Optional. Bye, Optional. See, the thing is that I have this great skill that I've developed for whistling. The heart didn't show up. Ah, what? Lame. Bad. Hold on. I'll make the heart. You can't really see it, but I'm doing it. I'm making a heart with my hands. I'm doing it. I have this skill where I can whistle while breathing in. That was like out, in, out, in. But the higher the note, the harder it is to do that. So Rainbow Connection becomes really hard to whistle at the end. I just like have to like hold out at that point, you know? So, but I'm glad that I apparently did a good job and you guys enjoyed it. So you're welcome, or thank you, or glad you enjoyed it. That one. Glad you enjoyed that. Now let's return to Alice in Wonderland. ASMR, go. There we go. Okay, where were we? I don't fucking know. It was like ages ago. She goes in. The door led into a large kitchen, which was full of smoke from one end to the other. The Duchess was sitting on a three-legged stool in the middle, nursing a baby. The cook was leaning over the fire, stirring a large cauldron which seemed to be full of soup. Oh yeah, soup. Remember that? Soup. There's certainly too much pepper in that soup, Alice said to herself as well as she could for sneezing. There was certainly too much of it in the air. Even the Duchess sneezed occasionally, and as for the baby, it was sneezing and howling alternately without a moment's pause. The only two creatures in the kitchen that did not sneeze were the cook and a large cat, which was sitting on the hearth and grinning from ear to ear. Here it is. Here's the most iconic character of Alice in Wonderland, other than Alice herself. Please, would you tell me, said Alice, a little timidly, for she was not quite sure whether it was good manners for her to speak first, why your cat grins like that? What does the Duchess sound like? British. Hello, I'm the Duchess. I think that's good. It's a Cheshire cat, said the Duchess, and that's why, pig. She said the last word with such sudden violence that Alice quite jumped, but she saw in another moment that it was addressed to the baby and not to her, so she took courage and went on again. Hello, top of the morning, it's me, the Duchess. I didn't know that Cheshire cats always grinned. In fact, I didn't know that cats could grin. They all can, said the Duchess, and most of them do. I don't know of any that do, said Alice very politely, feeling quite pleased to have got into a conversation. You don't know much, said the Duchess, and that's a fact. Alice did not at all like the tone of this remark, and thought it would be as well to introduce some other subject of conversation. While she was trying to fix on one, the cook took the cauldron of soup off the fire and at once set to work throwing everything within her reach at the Duchess and the baby. The fire irons at first, then followed a shower of saucepans, plates, and dishes. The Duchess took no notice of them, even when they hit her, and the baby was howling so much already that it was quite impossible to say whether the blows hurt or not. Oh, please do mind what you're doing, cried Alice, jumping up and down in an agony of terror. Oh, there goes his precious nose! As an unusually large saucepan flew close by it and very nearly carried it off. If everybody minded their own business, the Duchess said in a hoarse growl, the world would go round a deal faster than it does. If everybody minded their own... Oh, no, wait, that's what she's... Which would not be an advantage, said Alice, who very felt glad to have an opportunity of showing off a little of her knowledge. Just think of what work it would make with the day and night. You see, the Earth takes 24 hours to turn around an axis. Talking of axes, said the Duchess, chop off her head. Hey, yeah, it's the Queen's line, but it's first uttered by the Duchess. Isn't that a fun fact? I think it is. Alice glanced rather anxiously at the cook to see if she meant to take the hint, but the cook was busily stirring the soup and seemed not to be listening, so she went on again. 24 hours, I think, or was it 12? Oh, don't bother me, said the Duchess. I never could abide figures. And with that, she began nursing her child again, singing a sort of lullaby to it as she did so, and giving it a violent shake at the end of every line. What is this cook's deal? What is anyone's deal? But the cook does feel like possibly the weirdest character because she just does stuff at absolute random. Like there's not even like the cook doesn't even seem to have a reason for it like the other characters.
Speak roughly to your little boy and beat him when he sneezes. He only does it to annoy because he knows it teases.
Oh, it's a song, right? Chorus in which the cook and baby joined. So you guys have to be the cook and baby here. So please say in chat, wow, wow, wow. That's 3 wows, each followed by an exclamation point. Please do so, and then I will continue. I love audience participation. While the Duchess sang, oh, we forgot the music. There it is, there's the music again. While the Duchess sang the second verse, God, I love how you just all did, so many of you do it. This is fun, I like this. While the Duchess sang the second verse of the song, she kept tossing the baby violently up and down, and the poor little thing howled so that Alice could hardly hear the words.
I speak severely to my boy, I beat him when he sneezes, for he can thoroughly enjoy the pepper when he pleases.
And you guys? That's wrong, Streamlabs. That's not the thing you're supposed to say. There you go. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's nice. That's nice. Yes, yes, yes. Good.
Here, you may nurse it a bit if you like,
the Duchess said to Alice, flinging the baby at her as she spoke.
I must go and get ready to play croquet with the Queen.
She hurried out of the room. The cook threw a frying pan after her as she went, but it just missed her. Alice caught the baby with some difficulty as it was a queer-shaped little creature and held out its arms and legs in all directions. Just like a starfish, thought Alice. The poor little thing was snorting. How much does she know about starfish, I wonder? The poor little thing was snorting like a steam engine when she caught it and kept doubling itself up and straightening itself out again, so that altogether, for the first minute or two, it was as much as she could to hold it.
Gay baby.
I've not seen a baby, Alice. Guess not. I mean, the funny thing is that she compares it to a starfish when it's gonna be something else. It's also not it's funny. It's 2 things and neither of them are starfish. Don't worry about it. As soon as she had made out the proper way of nursing it, which was to twist it up into a sort of knot and then keep tight hold of its right ear and left foot so as to prevent its undoing itself, she carried it out into the open air. If I don't take this child away with me, thought Alice, they're sure to kill it in a day or 2. Wouldn't it be murder to leave it behind? She said the last words out loud, and the little thing grunted in reply. It had left off sneezing by this time. Don't grunt, said Alice. That's not at all a proper way of expressing yourself. The baby can do whatever it wants, okay? The baby grunted again, and Alice looked very anxiously into its face and see what was the matter with it. There could be no doubt that it had a very turned-up nose, much more like a snout than a real nose, and all its eyes, that's not a good sentence. It had a whole bunch of them. It had 8 eyes, like a spider. And also, its eyes were getting extremely small for a baby, although Alice did not like the look of the thing at all. But perhaps it was only sobbing, she thought, and looked into its eyes again to see if there were any tears. No, there were no tears. If you're going to turn into a pig, my dear, Alice said anxiously, or seriously, I'll have nothing more to do with you, mind now, because Alice is racist against pigs. Confirmed. The poor little thing sobbed again, or grunted, it was impossible to say which, and they went on for some while in silence. Alice was just beginning to think to herself, now what am I to do with this creature when I get it home? When it grunted again, so violently that she looked down into its face in some alarm. This time there could be no mistake about it. It was neither more nor less than a pig, and she felt that it would be quite absurd for her to carry it any further. So she set the little creature down and felt quite relieved to see it trot away quietly into the wood. If it had grown up, she said to herself, it would have made a dreadfully ugly child. Again, rude. But it makes makes a rather handsome pig, I think. And she began thinking over other children she knew, who might do very well as pigs, and was just saying to herself, if one only knew the right way to change them when she was a little startled by seeing the Cheshire Cat sitting on a bough of a tree a few yards off. The cat only grinned when it saw Alice. It looked good-natured, she thought. Still, it had very long claws and a great many teeth, and she felt that it ought to be treated with respect. Cheshire Puss, she began, rather timidly, as she did not at all know whether it would like the name. However, it only grinned a little wider. Come, it's pleased so far, thought Alice, and she went on. Would you tell me, please, which way to go from here? Then the Cheshire Cat voice. What does a Cheshire Cat sound like?
Meow. I am the Cheshire Cat.
No. What does the Cheshire Cat sound like? What would the cat... Cheshire Cat voice. Cause it's like... Any suggestions on what this Cheshire Cat should sound like? Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. What does this cat sound like? What does a Cheshire Cat smell like? Pepper, probably, actually. It sounds like a little shit.
I'm the Cheshire Cat.
Hello voice. Okay, that's not bad. Kind of the same, if you think about it.
Hello. Okay, this is the voice of the Cheshire Cat. Okay.
If I don't have some fucking art of the Cheshire Cat with a 3-mouth smile and big anime cutesy eyes, you know, well, I mean, I'll be real happy if I do get it. Let's put it like that.
Mr. President, I was in Wonderland.
Okay, so would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here?
That depends a good deal on where you want to go to,
said the cat. I don't much care where, said Alice.
Then it doesn't matter which way you go,
said the cat. As long as I get somewhere, Alice added as an explanation.
Oh, you're sure to do that,
said the cat.
If you only walk long enough.
Alice felt that this could not be denied, so she tried another question. What sort of people live about here? Wait, what? Oh, right, yes.
In that direction,
the cat said, waving its right paw around.
Lives a hatter, and in that direction,
waving the other paw, lives a... Oh, wait, no.
Lives a mortal. Visit either you like, they're both mad.
But I don't want to go among mad people, Alice remarked.
Oh, you can't help that,
said the cat.
We're all mad here. I'm mad. You're mad.
How do you know I'm mad? Said Alice.
You must be,
said the cat.
Or you wouldn't have come here.
See, like, you read lines like that and then you think, okay, no. Like, I understand how people would, like, take this and make it about that she's, like, an insane person or whatever. Or that she's high on the drugs, you know? When it's like, well, you're mad. The character tells you you're mad. But also the character's a fucking idiot. It's a weird talking cat that smiles all the time and stuff and is generally unhelpful. I'm not believing a word this guy says, even though he was right about where the March Hare and the header live. Don't worry about it. Alice didn't think that proved it at all. However, she went on, and how do you know that you're mad?
To begin with,
said the cat.
A dog's not mad. You grant that?
I suppose so, said Alice.
Well then,
the cat went on.
You see, a dog growls when it's angry and wags its tail when it's pleased. Now I growl when I'm pleased and wag my tail when I'm angry. Therefore, I'm mad.
I call it purring, not growling, said Alice.
Call it what you like,
said the cat.
Do you play croquet with the queen today?
I should like it very much, said Alice, but I haven't been invited yet.
You'll see me there,
said the cat, vanishing. Alice was not quite surprised at this. She was getting so well used to queer things happening because, you know, we're all gay. or some kind of LGBT anyway.
Get down, Mr. President. No. Off with your head.
Alice was not much surprised at this. She was getting so well used to queer things happening. While she was still looking at the place where it had been, it suddenly appeared again.
By the by, what became of the baby?
Said the cat.
I'd nearly forgotten to ask.
It turned into a pig, and oh wait, no, hold on. It turned into a pig, and Alice answered very quietly, just as if the cat had come back in a natural way.
I thought it would,
said the cat, and vanished again. Alice waited a little, half expecting to see it again, but it did not appear, and after a minute or two she walked on in the direction in which the March Hare was said to live. I've seen hatters before, she said to herself. The March Hare will be much the most interesting, and perhaps as this is May, it won't be raving mad. At least, not so mad as it was in March. Okay. As she said this, she looked up, and there was the cat again, sitting on a branch of a tree.
Did you say pig or fig?
Said the cat. I said pig, replied Alice, and I wish you wouldn't keep appearing and vanishing so suddenly. You make one quite giddy.
All right,
said the cat, and this time it vanished quite slowly, beginning with the end of the tail and ending with the grin, which remained some time after the rest of it had gone. Which is, I love that, like that is in every adaptation, of course, like every visual adaptation, but I love that that's like in the book. That was in there, they didn't come up with that, that was just like already in there. That's, I don't know, I love this book, good book, you're a good book, yes, good book. Well, I've often seen a cat without a grin, thought Alice, but a grin without a cat? It's the most curious thing I've ever seen in all my life. She had gone much further than before she came into sight of the house of the March Hare. She thought this must be the right house because the chimneys were shaped like ears and the roof was thatched with fur. It was so large a house that she did not like to go nearer till she had nibbled some more of the left-hand bit of mushroom and raised herself to about 2 feet high. Even then she walked up towards it rather timidly, saying to herself, "Suppose it would be raving mad after all. I almost wish I'd gone to see the Hatter instead." Next chapter. Should we, hold on, is this like a, I'm thinking because I'm getting a little tired. To be truth be told, I've had a busy couple of last week and then also leading up to today. So I'm getting like a little bit tiredy. This is like a nice chill stream, so I'm not getting as tired as I usually would under these circumstances if it was like a normal stream. But I'm thinking like, do I want to keep going? But I don't want to end it here just as we're about to meet the Mad Hatter, another fan favorite, right? Hold on, let me... What's the next chapter again? Actually, I think this will be like a good finishing chapter. So we'll do this chapter, and then that'll be the end for today. So one more chapter, and then we'll continue some other time. Which I guess won't be a donation or a community goal this time. It's gonna happen at some point, or will it be a community goal? Let me know if it should be, you know, community engagement and all that. So last chapter, shaking my hand a little bit because it's, you know, it's hurting a bit from holding the book like that. Chapter 7. Opening the book. A mad tea party. Thank you, Vibri. There was this table set under a tree in front of the house, and the March Hare and the Hatter were having tea at it. A dormouse was sitting between them, fast asleep, and the other two were using it as a cushion, resting their elbows on it and talking over its head. Very uncomfortable for the dormouse, thought Alice, only, as it's asleep, I suppose it doesn't mind. The table was a large one, but the three were all crowded together at one corner of it. No, hold on a second. Is there another book you'd be interested in reading? I mean, maybe, but I certainly don't want to leave this book unfinished. That would be a shame, wouldn't it? I think so. And there's, of course, the second Alice book, Alice Through the Looking Glass. Posture check. I will check my posture. Here I go. Checking it good and such. Okay. The table was a large one, but the three were all crowded together at one corner of it. No room! No room! They cried when they saw Alice coming. There's plenty of room, said Alice indignantly, and she sat down in a large armchair at one side of the table.
Have some...
Hold on, March Hare voice.
Hello, I am the March Hare. This is what the March Hare sounds like. Sure, that works. Have some wine?
The March Hare said, in an encouraging tone. Alice looked all around the table, but there was nothing on it but tea. I don't see any wine, she remarked.
There isn't any,
said the March Hare. Then it wasn't very civil of you to offer it, said Alice angrily.
It wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited,
said the March Hare. I didn't know it was your table, said Alice. It's late for a great many more than 3. What does the Mad Hatter sound like? Curio the Mad Mage. Hello, it's me, the Mad Hatter. Yes. Your hair wants cutting, said the Hatter. He had been looking at Alice for some time with great curiosity, and this was his first speech. You should learn not to make personal remarks, said Alice, with some severity. It's very rude. The Hatter opened his eyes very wide, and upon hearing this, but all he said was, "Why is a raven like a writing desk?" I was about to suggest Curio, but I couldn't remember her name. Nice. Same brain. Telepatia. Come, we shall have some fun now, thought Alice. I'm glad they've begun asking riddles. I believe I can guess that, she added aloud. I love this bit too.
Do you mean that you think you can find out the answer to it?
Said the March Hare. Exactly so, said Alice.
Then you should have said what you mean,
the March Hare went on. Is it because language? I guess. It's because I don't know. It's just like a funny little... I guess because I also get lost in like the specifics of things, that I think this is funny and kind of relatable-ish in a way.
Then you should say what you mean,
the March Hare went on. I do, Alice hastily replied. At least I mean what I say. That's the same thing, you know. Not the same thing at all, said the Hatter. Why, you might just as well say that I see what I eat is the same thing as I eat what I see.
You might just as well say, added the
March Hare,
that I like what I get is the same as I get what I like.
Dormouse is asleep. You might as well say, added the Dormouse, who seemed to be talking in his sleep, that I breathe when I sleep is the same thing as I sleep when I breathe. It is hold on, Hatter. God, fucking, I have to do 3 voices now. It is the same thing with you, said the Hatter, and here the conversation dropped, and the party sat silent for a minute, while Alice thought over all she could remember about ravens and writing desks, which wasn't much. Roast Alice Jones. That's not very poggers of you, said the March Hare. The Hatter was the first to break the silence. What day of the month is it? He said, turning to Alice. He had taken his watch out of his pocket and was looking at it uneasily, shaking it every now and then, and holding it to his ear. Alice considered a little and said, the 4th? 2 days wrong, sighed the Hatter. I told you butter wouldn't suit the works, he added, looking angrily at the March Hare.
It was the best butter,
the March Hare meekly replied. I just gave them really high, really aggressive voices. That's sort of like how I talk, I guess. Yes, but some crumbs have gotten in as well, the Hatter rumbled. You shouldn't have put it in with the bread knife. They're sort of mixing the voices. Don't worry about it. The March Hare took the watch and looked at it gloomily. Then he dipped it into his cup of tea and looked at it again. Then he could think of nothing better to say than his first remark. It was the best butter, you know. Alice had been looking over his shoulder with some curiosity. What a funny fuck. Okay, hold on. What a funny watch, she remarked. Got it. It tells the day of the month and doesn't tell what o'clock it is. What o'clock it is? It doesn't tell what o'clock it is. Not what time, what o'clock. That's fun. What a funny fox it is. Alice swears. That's I want to see. This is the only like gritty reimagining of Alice in Wonderland I want to see. It's the same, but Alice swears as much as possible. That'll be good, I think. It tells the day of the month, but doesn't tell what o'clock it is. Why should it? Muttered the Hatter. Does your watch tell what year it is? Of course not, Alice replied very readily, but that's because it says it stays the same year for such a long time together. Which is just the case with mine, said the Hatter. Alice felt dreadfully puzzled. The Hatter's remarks seemed to have no sort of meaning to it, and yet it was certainly English. I don't quite understand you, she said, as politely as she could. Just one fuck to keep it PG-13. We're all fucking fuckers here. Oh, that's really good. God fucking damn it, this place is fucking crazy, said Alice. I hope I find that fucking cunt of a rabbit again soon, the prick. The Dormouse is asleep again, said the Hatter, and he poured a little hot tea onto its nose. The Dormouse shook its head impatiently and said, without opening its eyes, of course, just what I was going to remark myself. Have you guessed the riddle yet? The Hatter said, turning to Alice again. No, I give it up, Alice replied. What's the answer? I haven't the slightest idea, said the Hatter. Nor I, said the March Hare. Alice sighed wearily. I think you might do something better with the time, she said, than wasting it in asking riddles that have no answers. If you knew time as well as I do, said the Hatter, you wouldn't talk about wasting it. It's him. Wasting it. It's him. Hatter respects pronouns. Hatter is woke. We love the Hatter. I don't know what you mean, said Alice, who is a basic bitch and doesn't understand pronouns. Of course you don't, the Hatter said, tossing his head contemptuously. I dare say you never even spoke to time. Perhaps not, Alice cautiously replied, but I know I have to beat time when I learn music. Ah, that accounts for it, said the Hatter. He won't stand beating. Now, if you only kept on good terms with him, he'd do almost anything you liked with the clock. For instance, suppose it were 9 o'clock in the morning, just time to begin lessons. You'd only have to whisper a hint to time, and round goes the clock to a twinkling. 1:30, time for dinner. At 1:30, time for dinner? That's crazy. Had a work, babe. Alice just for yelling. It's funny how easily these jokes are made with Alice in Wonderland, though, because they use the word queer like every other sentence. I only wish it was. Oh no, wait. Hold on. What does the mirror? I'm the March. What is it? I'm the March Hare. There we go. I only wish it was. The March Hare said to itself in a whisper. That would be grand, certainly, said Alice thoughtfully. But then I shouldn't be hungry for it, you know? Not at first, perhaps, said the Hatter, but you could keep it to 1:30 as long as you liked. Is that the way you manage? Alice asked. The Hatter shook his head mournfully. Not I, he replied. We quarreled last March, just before he went mad, you know, pointing with his teaspoon at the March Hare. It was at a great concert given by the Queen of Hearts, and I had to sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Bat, How I Wonder Where You're At. You know the song, perhaps? I've heard something like it, said Alice. It goes on, you know, the Hatter continued, in this way. Up above the world you fly, like a tea tray in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle. Here the Dormouse shook itself and began singing in its sleep. Twinkle, 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 twinkle. And went on so long that they had to pinch it to make it stop. Oh, oh my god, did you draw the thing? Okay, hold on, we're gonna take a little second. I gotta, if that's like stream related, I gotta put it on the stream. Hold on. Alice in the Queer Zone. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my god, yes. Oh, that's so good. Can I put this on?
Yeah! Oh my god, it's big!
Yeah! Ta-da! Thank you very much, Corvus, for joining us.
Well, oh, Matt,
Thank you very much. This is staying up here. Hold on, let me put it behind me. There we go. Very, very nice. I love it. Thank you. The fucking anime eyes. It's going on the Minecraft fridge, exactly. I should have that. I should. Oh my god, that'd be so fun if, like, in the chat zone, you know, on this screen, there was like a fridge back here and I just put fan art and stuff on there. That'd be so good. You also drew something else, but I'll show it after the stream. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Thank you very much for drawing stuff. It's really nice.
beautiful.
Okay, we return now to our regularly scheduled story. Well, I hardly finished the first verse, said the hatter, when the queen bawled out, he's murdering the time, off with his head. I feel like this is exactly the voice I'm going to be using for the queen, actually, now that I think about it. How dreadfully savage, exclaimed Alice. And ever since then, the hatter went on in a mournful tone, he won't do the thing I ask, it's always 6 o'clock now. A bright idea came into Alice's head. Is that the reason why so many tea things are put out here? She asked. Yes, that's it, said the hatter with a sigh. It's always tea time, and we've no time to wash the things between whiles. Then you keep moving around, I suppose, said Alice. Exactly so, said the hatter, as the things get mixed up, or used up. But when you come to the beginning again, Alice ventured to ask, suppose we oh wait, March Hare.
I'm the March Hare. Suppose we change the subject.
The March Hare interrupted, yawning.
I'm getting tired of this. I vote a young lady. Tell us a story.
I'm afraid I don't no one, said Alice, rather alarmed at the proposal.
Then the Dormouse shall, they both cried.
Wake up, Dormouse! And they both pinched it on both sides at once. The Dormouse slowly opened his eyes. I wasn't asleep, he said in a hoarse, feeble voice. I heard every word you fellows were saying.
Tell us a story,
said the March Hare. Yes, please do, pleaded Alice. She's really getting into this now.
And be quick about it, added the hatter, or you'll sleep again before it's done.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little sisters. The Dormouse began in a great hurry. Oh, sorry. Once upon a time, there were 3 little sisters. The Dormouse began in a great hurry. And their names were Elsie, Leslie, and Tilly. And they lived at the bottom of a well. What did they live on? Said Alice, who always took a great interest in questions when my hands are fucking up real bad. Like, so bad. Okay, we're good, I guess. Who always took a great interest in questions of eating and drinking. Because she loves to do that, I guess, to eat. So I was thinking about food. Because she's rich and she gets it all the time. She doesn't have to worry like most people. They lived on treacle, said the Dormouse after thinking a minute or two. They couldn't have done that, you know, Alice gently remarked. They'd have been ill. So they were, said the Dormouse. Very ill. Alice tried a little to fancy to herself what such an extraordinary way of living would be like, but it puzzled her too much. So she went on, but why did they live at the bottom of a well?
Take some more tea, the March Hare said to Alice very earnestly.
I've had nothing yet, Alice replied in an offended tone, so I can't take any more.
You mean you can't take any less, said the hatter. It's very easy to take more than nothing.
Nobody asked your opinion, said Alice. She's getting so fucking mad. That's so fun. See, this is always lost. This that she gets mad at people. They never do this in the adaptations. I keep coming back to this. I keep being like, adaptations get it wrong, but they get it wrong. Adaptations always get it wrong, pretty much always. She never really gets properly mad at people, and that's what's fun about her. She's got a wide, diverse range of emotions. Savage as fuck, yeah. And my fucking nose. Oh my god. Okay, I just have to not scratch it. I'll be fine. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. This is not my nose. This is my cheek. Nobody asked your opinion, said Alice.
Who's making personal remarks now? The hatter asked triumphantly.
Alice did not quite know what to say to this, so she helped herself to some tea and bread and butter, and then turned to the Dormouse, who repeated her question, why did they live at the bottom of a well? The Dormouse again took a minute or two to think about it, and then said, it was a treacle well. There's no such thing, Alice was beginning very angrily, and the Hatter and the March Hare said, shh, 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 shut the fuck up, and the Dormouse sulkily remarked, if you can't be civil, you'd better finish the story for yourself. No, please go on, Alice said very humbly, and I just remembered that can look sad. I won't interrupt you again. I dare say there may be one. One indeed, said the Dormouse indignantly. However, he consented to go on. And so these three little sisters, they were learning to draw, you know. What did they draw? Said Alice, quite forgetting her promise to not be such a nosy little bitch and just let the person tell the story. Oh my god. Oh, fuck, I touched my nose again. Treacle, said the Dormouse, without considering it at all this time. I want a clean cup, interrupted the Hatter. Let's all move one place on. He moved on as he spoke, and the Dormouse followed him. The March Hare moved into the Dormouse's place, and Alice rather unwillingly took the place of the March Hare. The Hatter was the only one who got any advantage from the change, and Alice was a good deal worse off than before, as the March Hare had just upset the milk jug onto his plate. Why wouldn't you just take your old thing? Whatever. That's not how it works, of course. Alice did not wish to offend the Dormouse again, so she began very cautiously, but I don't understand. Where did they draw the treacle from? You can draw water from a water well. Oh no, wait, there's the Hatter. Sorry. You can draw water from a water well, said the Hatter. So I think you could draw a treacle out of a treacle well. Eh, stupid? Oh my god. Dude, they're getting so fucking mean. This color's stupid right through her face. It's not even like an intricately phrased insult or anything. It's just, you fucking idiot, dumb bitch. Alice, you stupid idiot. This rules. This is so fun. Reading. But they were in the well, Alice said to the Dormouse, not choosing to notice this last remark. Of course they were. I am back. What kind of cruelty did I miss? The Mad Hatter just called Alice stupid, just like to her face. She said stupid. So that's where we're at right now. Alice, you fucking walnut. You think... it's good. Alice, you fucking 5-year-old. Of course they were, said the Dormouse. Well in the well. Got to mince this fucker. To be fair, she's also being mean to them. So, you know. This has her so confused, poor Alice, that she let the Dormouse go on for some time without interrupting. They were learning to draw. The Dormouse went on, yawning and rubbing its eyes, for it was getting very sleepy, and they drew all manner of things. Everything that begins with an M. Why with an M? Said Alice. Shut the fuck up, Alice. Just let him tell the story like you said you would. Why not? Oh no, wait, March here.
Why not?
Alice was silent. The Dormouse had closed its eyes by this time and was going off into a doze, but upon being pinched by the Hatter, it awoke again with a little shriek and went on. That begins with an M, such as mousetraps and the moon and memory and muchness. You know, you say things are much of a muchness. Did you ever see such a thing as a drawing of a muchness? Really, now you ask me, said Alice, very much confused. I don't think... Then you shouldn't talk, said the Hatter. This piece of rudeness was more than Alice could bear. She got up in great disgust and walked off. The Dormouse fell asleep instantly. And neither of the others took the least notice of her going, though she looked back once or twice, half hoping that they would call after her. The last time she saw them, they were trying to put the Dormouse into the teapot. At any rate, I'll never go there again, said Alice as she picked her way through the woods. It's the stupidest tea party I've ever been in all my life. Just as she said this, she noticed that one of the trees had a door leading right into it. That's very curious. she thought, but everything's curious today. I think I may as well go in at once. And in she went. Once more, she found herself in the long hall and close to the little glass table. I want to be a mouse in a teapot. Oh my god, dude, did you guys see him? Did you guys see them? They were right there. Oh my god. Wow. Don't we all though? Don't we all want to be real small and escape all these troubles by going into a nice teapot? Don't we all? Don't we all? Don't we all? Anyway, going on. A dormouse is an actual tiny animal that would die for that is that I would die for that is endangered. I know, it's a special animal. It's got a nice long fluffy tail. It's cute. Tiny creature, yeah. You can still be a mouse in a teapot. You can still be a regular mouse. Anyway, once more she found herself in the long hall and close to the little glass table. Now I'll manage better this time, she said to herself, and began by taking the little golden key and unlocking the door that led into the garden. Then she set to work, nibbling at the mushroom. She had kept a piece of it in her pocket, till she was about a foot high, and she walked down the little passage. And then she found herself at last in the beautiful garden, among the bright flower beds and cool fountains. And that's where we ended for today. Ta-da! That's the end of the... we made it about... there's not much more. Hold on. How many chapters are there left? One, two, three, four, five. 5 more chapters. Also, all of these interactions are what it feels like to talk to neurotypicals sometimes. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, less aggravating, I think, because you have a better understanding of them, I think. Wait, hold on. Neurotypicals? Hold on. No, wait, that's normal people. No, you're fucking right, actually. That is what... Yeah. Oh my god. You're fucking... Yeah. Oh yeah, you came back right at the end. That's too bad. But you still were here for a little bit, and you were here for earlier stuff, you know? What did you guys think? Was that like a good stream? Because it's kind of like an unorthodox thing to do, even though Twitch does have a tag for reading stuff. So it's not that unorthodox, I guess. I don't know. It was nice. Good. I enjoyed it. This is very good. Oh, very good even. Wow. Thank you. That's nice. It was really fun. Oh my god. Three. Come on, give me three. 3 exclamation points. That's so many. It was nice and chill. I enjoyed it. Good. Awesome. No, I'm glad that people liked it then. I also liked it. I love Alice in Wonderland and I like reading, and I thought it was fun. Might have fallen asleep if you kept going. It was yeah, same. Honestly, I might fall asleep myself. I fell asleep, but my face tracking was lost because we talked about the bad camera. Anyway, yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Now, here's the end of the stream where I promote things and I talk about upcoming streams and stuff. You know the drill. So, as every week, tomorrow is Minecraft. Psych, it's not. I'm gonna take a break. Tomorrow's stream, Minecraft will return next week, of course, but this week, I'm gonna use tomorrow as a bit of me time, because like I said earlier in the stream, I've had a very busy last week and also this week, so I am due for some, you know, self-care, whatever, you know, just some quiet time for myself. So no stream tomorrow. Then there's a stream on Sunday. I don't know what it is yet. Probably Mega Man. I think that's gonna be Mega Man. It'll be Mega Man. It's Mega Man. This Saturday, Mega Man Legends stream again. Thank you. So I hope to see you there. If you're new, Super Fighting Robot! Yeah, that one. if you're new, you can join our Discord if you want, where I announce streams ahead of time. We talk about things to stream. We talk about other things. You can share images of your cat, or drawings that you do, or music that you make, or just funny memes, or you can talk about whatever the hell you want with me and my co-host and other fans. And I have a hiccup, which is always a good sign that I have to go to bed, because I always get bedtime hiccups. Exclamation point Discord and chat if you want a link to that. You can also follow my Twitch, which I will show you like so. I mean, not my Twitch, this is my Twitch. My Twitter or Tumblr, where I also announce things and just talk and post funny things. This is them, these two. You may follow me there if you wish. I don't have anything else to announce, I don't think. Nope, I don't think so. So, I would just like to thank you all for joining me on the stream. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm glad that you didn't tell me that you didn't, if you didn't, even though I asked for your opinion. So like, I guess I would want you to say that you didn't enjoy it, so I would know. Doesn't matter. I mean, why would you be here if you didn't enjoy it, I guess? Anyway, I hope you had a good time. I know I did. I appreciate you guys a lot for being here and spending time with me, I guess. First stream of my life. You're welcome. You're welcome, Vibri. Yeah. Have a lovely rest of your day. If you're gonna go to bed soon, good night, sweet dreams. And that's what I'm gonna do. So, goodbye. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.